What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy, Stephen D, and this is Clock Blockers, home of the #1 Miami fan morning show right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. I'm your host, Stephen D. Hope y'all can hear me. I'm having a lot of technical issues this morning and last night and today, and just can't get anything to work right. But I'm here. Anyways, I'm not getting anything to work right. I hate when that happens. Bothers me to no end. I even had to get Roach on the phone this morning to try to help me, and I still couldn't get it fixed. I love technical difficulties. Anyways, we're here. It's Victory Monday. Ain't nothing gonna bring me down today. Nothing's gonna bring me down right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. Home of the #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers. Every day. Weekdays. All right. I'm not getting anything to work right this morning. I apologize. I'm here, though. We're here. Anyways. What a day yesterday. What a day. We're going to get into all of it. The Miami Dolphins game. We're going to talk about all of it. We're going to talk about the fan reaction. We're going to talk about everything. Everything. And it's going to be a lot of fun because it's Victory Monday and life is good on Victory Monday. Again, I apologize for the lateness and the technical difficulties. We had problems yesterday. We had problems today. We're going to get a set. After I get off the show today, I guess I'm going to try to go back in and try to fix everything because I like being transparent with you guys. You want to know what the issue is? Here's the issue. Okay. This is the issue. This is not working. There's no buttons. The buttons aren't here. I can't get anything to work. There's nothing. It's blank. It's frustrating. Anyways, you spend all that money on equipment and couldn't get it to work yesterday either. Frustrating. When you're the producer and the host of the show, all you want is stuff to go right. That's it. That's what stuff's supposed to work the way it's supposed to work. And when it doesn't work, it gets frustrating. You get upset. Yes, it is plugged in, Big Dougie B. Otherwise, you couldn't hear me through the thing. Half part working, the other half isn't. Anyways. Don't worry about why I'm late, Robert. I'm trying to get stuff to work right. Victory Monday, though. Besides my stuff not working correctly, Victory Monday is here. You're not going to bring me down. Just not going to do it. Life is going to be good. We're going to just enjoy everything. I fixed the quality issues on my end. Anyways, don't attack me, Steven. I'm not attacking you. Somebody's got to get it, though. Somebody's got to get this smoke today. Who's it going to be? Good morning to my Finlaws and my family. My name is Stephen Daniels right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. You can follow me on all social media platforms at Stephen D. SKPL. Spread kindness, positivity, and love. You can also follow Miami Sports Music on all social media platforms at Miami Sports Music and on Twitter at MIA Sports Music. I want you to make sure you guys hit the like button. Hit it. It's free. Doesn't cost anything to do it. And also subscribe to the channel. Subscribe. We are almost at 10,000 subscribers, and we can't get there without your help. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. Also, hey, look, you want to sign up, become a member, become part of the family. I would love for you to sign up, become part of the family. There are plenty of seats waiting at the table for you. We had, I think we had 8 new members last week sign up to become official members of the family. Can we get 8 more new ones? Whatever proper English I want to use. That would be great. I would love it. Be good. Also, hey, look, you want to help the channel grow by donating. Lots of different ways you guys can do it. You guys can use the YouTube Live Super Chat, which is the $ down at the bottom of the chat. And you guys can also use Cash App and PayPal. If you want to use those, the QR codes are right on your screen right here. Here's the one for Cash App, $MSM Podcast Network, and also PayPal, which is also MSM Podcast Network. All right. Want to give a big shout out to our sponsors of the show, ZSM Sports. ZSM Sports is absolutely amazing. Specialized in sports memorabilia, cards, jerseys, balls, and hard to find items. ZSM Sports is the place to get all your stuff. Angry Owls, good food, good mood, craft subs, and salad. Make sure you give them a call at 305 279 5332. Vasasur. Vasasur. Vasasur, born and raised a beer created for the fans by the fans, just like this show, just like this podcast network. Vasasur, born and raised the official beer of Clock Blockers. You can go get it at any South Florida Publix, and you can get your Vasasur. It's good stuff. Make sure you guys go get it. You guys can also go to their brewery, which is in Wynwood. Little sneak peek, December 17th or 18th, whatever day that Jets game is going to be, or excuse me, that Bills game is going to be in Buffalo. Me and Allie, aka Dolph Freaky, aka the NFL Miami Dolphins NFL Fan of the Year, will be doing a huge watch party for that game in Wynwood. I'm flying down for it. It's going to be a lot of fun, so make sure you guys are there for that. A great place to sit.com. A great place to sit is absolutely amazing. We love them there. Why is that? Because the price you see is the price you get. You need tickets to this game coming up in Cleveland. That's going to be the one. That's going to be the game that you guys call. It's going to be great. Make sure you guys do it. Great place to sit.com. Tickets to any game or event. Give them a call at 954-989-7979. Use the code word DWA and get 5% off on your tickets. All right. And last but certainly not least, Tail Greeter. We love Tail Greeter. Download the app on your current Apple or Android device today. It's going to be awesome. Okay. We're going to have a big tailgate on this Sunday coming up in Miami at the Cleveland game. And our very own Chef Zhu, that's right, the number one, and I do mean the number one. He was the very first listener of the show. He's the very first subscriber to the show. He was the very first person to become a member of the show. I'm talking about Chef Zhu will be getting married on Sunday. And this guy right here is going to be the officiant, one of the officiants. There's two of them. I'm going to be one of them. It's going to be awesome. I'm super excited about it. And yeah, we're going to try to stream it live right here on the podcast network on the pregame show. So Chef Zhu's going to be getting married on Sunday at the tailgate. We hope that you come to that. It's going to be awesome. And if not, you can watch it right here on the stream. We're going to try to do it on the stream. Okay. No promises. We're talking about a setup, but it should be a lot of fun. So I'm super excited about it. It is Victory Monday. A lot to talk about. It's going to be a lot of fun. So first of all, thank you for joining me this morning. Thank you for hitting the like button on your way in. It's going to be good stuff. Let me just kind of dive right into it. Right, Miami Dolphins were in Chicago yesterday. Won 35-32. I was in Maryland, in Gambrills, Maryland. We had a watch party there with the Maryland Dolphin Fan Club. The Valley Fanatics from West Virginia, they drove down. There were some people from Nova that were down. There were some people from PA. We had, 50, 60 people at this watch party. It was a lot of fun. All in the DMV area. It was a lot of fun. We did the pregame show, a quick pregame show from there because I was having technical difficulties there too. And yeah, man, it's going to be a lot of fun. So, or it was a lot of fun. So we had fun there. It was DJ Sick Turtle's birthday. We celebrated DJ Sick Turtle's birthday, which was good. So shout out to DJ Sick Turtle. Happy birthday to him. It was a lot of fun. It was good stuff. Watching the game, here's my initial thoughts of everything. Okay. Number one, first and foremost, this offense is absolutely amazing. The offense is ungodly real. Okay. And Tua's the main center focus of that, in my opinion. I think we have the best offense we've had in the last 30 years. I would even go as far to say this is one of the most explosive offenses in the NFL, period, especially watching the game last night with Kansas City. I'm like, man, our offense can go toe-to-toe with any other offense in the NFL. There's no even denying that. We need to put up points. We can put up points. We scored 5 touchdowns yesterday, 4 of them on offense. 3 through the air, 1 on the ground. I know a lot of people want to go to 2 plays that Tua had 2 bad plays the entire day, in my opinion. 2. The 4th down where he should have thrown it, or he could have thrown it better. I don't know what happened. Whatever it wasn't a great play. And the underthrow. But if we're going to sit here and talk about 2 bad plays, which, by the way, that's what everybody wanted to do on social media last night. What are y'all talking about? What are you talking about? We have one of the most explosive offenses in the history of the NFL. Tyreek Hill is going on pace for over 2,000 yards. He is over at what is he? The fastest player to reach 1,000 yards in 9 games. He's sitting on 1,100 yards. We got another player that's going to hit 1,000 yards here in a week or two. We're going to have 2 1,000-yard rushers by our bye week, potentially by our bye week. I mean, absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. And Tua every week seems to be getting better, seems to be like there's just something about this kid. And I mean what I mean in the title. Is Tua an MVP candidate today? I started this platform for many different reasons. All right. I'm a Miami Dolphins fan first and foremost. I always will be. And one of the things that I love about being a Miami Dolphins fan is understanding what we have as a team and as a franchise. And I think what we need to understand right now is that Tua Tagovailoa is an MVP candidate in the NFL right now, today. The man has missed 2.5 games and is up there in touchdowns. Okay? If he didn't miss those 2.5 games, he'd be up there in passing yards too. You know who's leading the NFL in passing yards? Tom Brady. They haven't looked great this year. They barely got out of that game yesterday against the Rams. Barely. And I'm telling you right now, I would take Tua Tagovailoa over any quarterback in the NFL right now, with the exception of Mahomes. And even he didn't look amazing. He looked good. I'm telling you right now, Tua's top 5 quarterback in the league. He's an MVP candidate right now. How can you not be excited about the direction of this franchise? I'm watching Sunday Night Football, the pregame for Sunday Night Football last night. And one of the things as a Miami Dolphins fan that I've always hated is you look at the team and you say, man, I wish the national media would talk about us. Man, I wish the national media would the national media is talking about us. The national media is talking about how good the Miami Dolphins are. With the exception of Patrick Mahomes, what other quarterback do you want playing for your team right now besides Tua Tagovailoa? I don't know any. I don't know of any. He's playing at the best. He's never played this well in his career. We've all thought he had this in him to a certain extent. We just couldn't get it out of him. And now he has the team around him. He's got the confidence behind him. Tua Tagovailoa is the man. I'm telling you, I would take Tua over Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson right now. I see you all in the chat. That's fine. I would take Tua over those guys right now. Is that being a homer? Maybe. That's fair. But I'm excited as hell watching him every Sunday. And I can tell you one thing, what I don't get with Josh Allen, or maybe not with Josh Allen, what I definitely don't get with Lamar is no matter what's going on with our defense, I feel like Tua can go down the field and score a touchdown. I feel like we can do it. Did Tua have some mistakes in the fourth quarter? Of course. Everybody wants him to be perfect. It doesn't exist. It does not exist. He's going to make a mistake here or there. And by the way, the man didn't get sacked yesterday, and the man didn't throw an interception. As a matter of fact, he hasn't thrown an interception since September. What do y'all want from the man? I'm serious. What do you all want from him? He is doing, like, I'm telling you, the man is putting up numbers. He's breaking records. When he starts and finishes a game, they haven't lost. There's a swag about this team when they're in there. You want to talk about the defense? That's fine. I have no problem sitting here talking about the defense. Definitely a lot of things that need to go to be questioned on that side of the ball. A lot. A lot. But when you're looking around the league at offense, Miami's at the top. Miami is at the top. It does not matter. Our offense can put up numbers whenever they want to. We scored a touchdown in the first quarter, 2 touchdowns in the second, and 2 touchdowns in the third. Where did our offense go in the fourth? We got conservative. Wasn't a big fan of the play calling, but that's not on Tua. And I have a difficult time getting on McDaniel because he's the one that instituted this offense. He's the one that helped bring in these players. You want me to get mad at McDaniel because he went conservative in the fourth? No thanks, not going to do it. The team is getting better every week, and there is much room. And here's the scary part about being a Miami Dolphins fan right now. And I mean scary in a good way. We haven't even put it all together yet. This team has not put it all together for 4 quarters yet. Imagine what's going to happen when they finally get it all together. And I have every ounce within me to believe that they will. I believe that they will. I believe that they will right the ship on defense. I believe that McDaniel will understanding that going conservative in the fourth quarter is the wrong way to go. I believe that the Miami Dolphins are all around one of the best teams in the NFL. And defense, they need to show it. I get that we can talk about the defense. I wasn't happy with the defense yesterday. But I'm also going to say, from a defensive perspective, 3 games this year. Let's talk about 3 particular quarterbacks in 3 particular games. Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, and Justin Fields. All quarterbacks that at any point in time can run the ball and run the ball well. Lamar Jackson had an MVP type day against us. Guess what? Dolphins still won. Dolphins offense went toe to toe. Not scared of them. Josh Allen, one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. He had a good day. He didn't have a great day, but he had a good day. What was his numbers? Let me go back and look at his numbers for that game. Just so I'm not talking out of my butt. Josh Allen, 400 yards and 2 touchdowns. Yes. And he had 47 yards rushing. So he did have a great game. It does not matter. We play great quarterbacks. We have played great quarterbacks this year, and the Dolphins have still won. They've won those games. We won those games. I'm not scared of anybody in the NFL. I'm not. Especially with the Jets beating Buffalo yesterday. You want to know why? Because Buffalo's not invincible. And we see that Tennessee, if they had any sort of offense, would have beat Kansas City last night. But they didn't. I love what John 83. Finn scored 21 points on 13 plays. You don't think they can turn the lights off and on whenever they want? They can walk into any room and score a touchdown. They have the Tua's an MVP candidate. Tyreek's an MVP candidate. You have to say both of them are. We have the most amount of wins of anybody in the NFL or in the AFC, excuse me. We're tied. 6 games. Jets have 6 games. Buffalo has 6 games. Dolphins have 6 games. By the way, that AFC East, best in football. You want to talk about a fun division to watch for the rest of the year, AFC East? Tua in his last 15 games is 13-2. The man wins. He wins games. Y'all want to sit here and talk about how, like, 2 plays that he had that were what? A bad throw, an underthrow, because he wasn't perfect? When it's all said and done, Miami will be competing for the number 1 seed. They'll be competing for the division. They'll be one of the best teams in football. And we're only halfway through the year. And y'all are like, oh, our defense is atrocious. Blah, 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 blah. Tua still doesn't have the arm strength. BS, by the way. Blah, 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 blah. Guys, listen to what I am telling you. We are in going into week 10, right, ladies and gentlemen? Week 10. We're halfway through the year. We are 6-3. We have played 9 games. The season is not over yet. It's not even close to being over. You think that this team it's going to get better. It's going to get better. Players are going to get more healthy. They're going to come back. There's lots of room for improvement, and that's what makes me even more optimistic about how good this team's going to be. Because we haven't even hit our ceiling yet. We haven't hit it on offense in a 4-quarter game. We definitely haven't done it on defense. We can be very critical about the defense, and I'm sure that we will, and it's deserving. And it's deserving. But the more we play, the more continuity and togetherness this team's going to have, and the more wins they're going to stack up. Miami wins the next 2 games. I've already told you this. I told you what was going to happen, the Pittsburgh game. I said we're going to go into the West Coast winning. And I still believe that. We're going to beat Cleveland next week. We're going to beat the bye week. And then we're going to beat Houston. And then a nice 3-game test comes from us, a really good test against 3 good teams. But what you do the next few weeks, you got to learn how to tighten up, because I will admit what you did yesterday against Chicago, you can't let good teams do. Now, with that being said, I do want to say that even when that's happened, even when Lamar Jackson has a MVP amazing day on the field, even when Josh Allen throws for over 400 yards, even when Justin Fields looks like he is playing out of his mind and has a career day, the Dolphins have won all those games. Who are you scared of? Tua gets on the field, points are being scored. I don't want to, if you all come up here and say the Dolphins barely won that game, no. We got conservative in the 4th quarter with McDaniel's play calling, which I have no problem with being critical about. Okay. And that's what led, and then 2 bad plays from Tua. That's it. And guess what? It's okay, because you don't have to be perfect. Was Patrick Mahomes perfect last night? No. No, he wasn't. Sure wasn't. Everybody has a bad throw or 2 in a game. Shut up. Don't want to hear it. Tua slander will not be tolerated. It will not be, because there's no reason to be. There is no reason to get on this guy at all. Y'all come up here with the Tula foolishness. I pray that people time y'all out, because it's unacceptable. The man is playing out of his mind. He's playing like an MVP candidate. Everybody said, I got people in the chat saying I'm capping. I'm not capping. We're 6-3. We are 6-3, and by the way, we control our own destiny. How amazing is that? You do realize after the next 2 wins, we'll be 8-3 going into the West Coast. We'll be 8-3 going into the West Coast. Don't let us win 2 out of 3 of those games, the West Coast plus Buffalo. Don't let us win 2 out of 3 of those. Because if we're sitting at 10-4 after that 3-game stretch, come on. Come on. Which, by the way, I fully predict is going to happen. At this point, I know I said I wasn't ready to make West Coast and Buffalo predictions. I don't know which games. Miami's going to win 2 or 3 of those. Fully expecting that. So we're going to win the next 2 against Cleveland and Houston. We're going to go to the West Coast and the Buffalo, a tough 3-week span, and we're going to win 2 or 3 of those games. And when it's all said and done, we're going to be sitting at 10-4 after the Buffalo game. Are we going to lose to Buffalo? I don't know. Are we going to lose to San Francisco? I don't know. I fully expect to show out the Chargers, but, it's a West Coast game. It's a tough game nonetheless. That's what I believe will happen. After the Buffalo game, the Dolphins will be sitting at 10-4. They'll be in control of their own destiny, and it's going to be a hell of a lot of fun to watch for the last few weeks. Don't know what else you want from this team. This team keeps winning. They win. That's all they do, no matter what. They got Tua on their mind, and they can never get enough. And everybody's hands should go up, and they should stay there. And they should stay there. Do you all understand what I'm telling you all right now? This is the most exciting team the Miami Dolphins have ever had. Easily most exciting team. And y'all want to complain about it? Some of y'all want to complain? It's fun. It is the most optimistic. It's the most fun it's ever been. It is. It truly is. Tyreek Hill. Everybody in the NFL, I watch a lot of clips, and a lot of people, quote unquote, keep receipts, right? That's fine. Not one of those people. But I was watching Mike Greeny of ESPN's First Take, and it's circulating Twitter, and it's basically, Mike Greenberg saying, oh, look, the Miami Dolphins, they went out and gave up everything they needed. They spent all this money. They spent all this draft capital to improve their team. And I'm so much happier being a Jets fan, knowing that the Jets didn't go do it. Let's say 2 things. Number one, it's not the Jets didn't want to do it. Tyreek chose Miami over the Jets. Let's just get that straight, Greeny. It's not that they chose to not do it. They tried. They failed. It didn't work. Now, with that being said, I'm going to give you the Jets a lot of props. You guys beat the Buffalo Bills yesterday. You're sitting at 6-3, 6-3, just like us. I'm very surprised how good you guys look right now. I didn't expect it. I didn't expect it at all. Okay. Now, with that being said, okay, the game you guys beat us, we didn't have Tua. Excuses. No, facts. Tua wasn't there. Totally different game when Tua was there. Whether we win or lose is irrelevant. It's a different game. Okay? So, the Miami Dolphins are not only one of the best teams in the NFL, not only have one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, not only has the best wide receiving duo in the NFL and the best wide receiver in the NFL, not only has one of the best GMs in all of sports, forget just the NFL. Explain to me where the Dolphins went wrong. I refuse on every being of myself to believe that the Dolphins made mistakes in this offseason and moving forward. We can sit here and talk about the offensive line. Tua hadn't been sacked. Jeff Wilson came out looking real good, didn't he? If Raheem Mostert looks good one week and Jeff Wilson looks good the next, I'm okay. That's a nice 1-2-0 duo. I'm good with them all day. Still believe that Matt Applebaum's one of the best offseason acquisitions, and it's starting to show. Just saying. The Miami Dolphins got over 300 people in the room. Hit the like button. Only 60 likes, over 300 people watching this morning. I think Dolphin fans are ready. I think y'all are ready. Over 300 people watching, only 61 likes. Hit the like button. Donate to the channel. Help the channel grow. That's the Finn. Stop spamming. Look, I think that the Miami Dolphins have everything they need to win a Super Bowl right now, and they're only going to get better as they play. They're only going to get better as they play. They are. And it's going to be fun to watch. This is going to be one of the funnest. If y'all aren't excited, check your pulse. Check your pulse. I'm excited. You should be excited too. And if you're not, I want to understand why. It is Victory Monday. It is Clock Blockers. It is the #1 Miami fan morning show right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. So without further ado, I'm going to drop the link. I'm going to have y'all come on because this is a show made for the fans by the fans. And I want y'all to understand. I want to hear from you. I want to hear from you. So I'm going to bring y'all on one at a time right now. Y'all see the link in the chat. I'm going to pin the link to the top of the page. I want to hear from you. What are your thoughts about the game yesterday? What are your thoughts? I understand we're going to get some people that are critical. That's fine. Should be very interesting to hear. But I want to hear from you, the fans. Should be exciting. Oh, man, we got some people up in here now. Whole bunch of people. All right. All right. First person I'm going to bring in is Facts Over Fiction. Who's this? Facts Over Fiction.
Hey, what's going on, man? I guess I show my face, but I showed my face before Steven again. The first time I came, I wasn't here. That
You're breaking up, Facts Over Fiction.
your fan base.
You're breaking up, buddy. I want to hear from you, but you're breaking up. You there?
Oh, man, can you hear me now? Yeah, I'm still
No, you're
here.
breaking up. Go out and come back in. I'll try to bring you back in after the next person because you're breaking up really bad.
Okay, cool. Gotcha. No problem. No problem.
All right, let me bring in Free Byron. Who's Free Byron?
This is Rashad.
Rashad, good morning, man. Welcome to Clock Blockers. Well, we got almost 300 people in the room, man. We're doing big stuff right now.
It's crazy
big
out
stuff.
there right now.
I know, man. See what happens when you go when we're 6-3. See what happens.
Oh, we big time right now.
We are big time right now.
We striking fear in everybody right now. They praying Byron Jones don't come back.
So tell me, man, what you I want to hear your thoughts. Game yesterday. Anything you want to talk about? Floor is yours.
I mean, I'm not upset at all. I mean, only reason we gave up the points that we did and the yards that we did is because Justin Fields is coming into himself. We didn't expect that. Nobody was looking for him to take off like he did. And we still held it together at the end like we continue to do. I don't know how, when it matters, we can lock up. But, yeah. We got those two throws by Tua that people have been dissecting.
That everybody on social media wants to talk about. I agree.
Yeah, I agree with the notion. The wind might have caught that pass from to Jalen. And Tua came out himself and said Smythe took his eyes off the ball right before Tua threw it. And if you see a playing receiver, if you're not looking at a ball coming towards you and you whip your head around and it's right there, it's hard to adjust, especially if it's low. I mean, Tua could have hit him up high. That's the only thing I can say negative about that game yesterday. Running game looks good. Yeah, not too upset at all. Offensive line. I'm so happy Robert Jones is in there.
I know. It's totally different. And Tua looks comfortable. Tua looks good. I think that, and granted, we were playing Chicago's defense, right? But at the end of the day, the Miami Dolphins, I think, are on the up and up, and things are like they're looking good. They're looking great. How can you not be excited?
A lot of people don't know. A lot of people don't know Chicago has 5th ranked pass defense.
Yeah, well, you wouldn't know
or
it
had, I should say had, exactly.
You wouldn't have known it yesterday. That's for sure. You would not have known it. All right, man. Anything else before I let you go?
No, that's it. Waiting for the Wolfpack to show themselves. I think they're in hibernation.
I might see you again later on if the Wolfpack shows up. I hear you.
Oh yeah, you will.
All right, Rashad, I love you, man. Be good.
Yep.
Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers, right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. I'm your host, Stephen D. You can follow me on all social media at Stephen D. SKPL. Spread kindness, positivity, and love. Make sure y'all hit that like button on your way in. Doesn't cost anything. Donate to the channel. Help the channel grow. Any donation is greatly appreciated, even if it's $1. It's that's how we keep things moving along here on the #1 podcast network. Made for the fans, by the fans. All right, next person I want to bring in is my man, Big Dougie B. What's up, Big Dougie B?
Hi there. How you doing?
Pretty good. How are you, man? Good morning.
I'm hanging in there. I came down with a cold over the weekend, so I'm not feeling too well right now.
Oh, that's no fun. That's no fun, man. I hope you feel better. What's up?
I just wanted to come on real quick and say that as I get older here, now that I'm 59 and stuff, I'm starting to feel the nerves more. They're starting to affect me more as I watch these games.
Okay.
I'm glad we won. A lot of people want to keep focusing on Tua missed throws at the end of the game. I'm sorry, you're missing the point. The defense put us in that position. If the defense had just contained, a little bit better, we wouldn't have to keep trying to stay ahead of them. They kept coming back every time. We were constantly having to score every time we got the ball because they kept scoring every time they got the ball. So, you can't expect someone to be perfect 100% of the time. It's just, I feel bad that he missed both those third downs, and I'm upset as anybody else about it, but we won the game in the end. The defense finally showed up at the very end when we needed them the most.
Defense, there were two plays that they definitely showed up, and I thought that I'm getting some feedback. I'll just put you on mute real quick. The defense definitely showed up at certain points during the game when it was critical, right? And at the end of the day, when you have an offense that's as potent and as explosive as our offense can be, that's all you really need, right? For them to show up 1 or 2 times during the game. Now, is that what you want, down the road? No, defense wins championships. We all know that. But at the end of the day, when your offense can sit there and score 35, points a game, 31 points a game, 30 plus points a game. And by the way, I do feel that if we had have went down, as long as we had the time at the end, we would have went down the field and scored. I was not worried about losing that game. I really wasn't, y'all. I promise y'all I wasn't nervous. I was frustrated with our defense. Don't let that get to you. I was very frustrated. But I was never nervous about losing the game. And I don't remember, and I've said this now for 2 weeks, I don't remember ever being this confident as a Dolphins fan, ever. And I'm just confident right now that we're going to win some football games.
Yeah, I tweeted or put in the chat earlier something. I don't know the answer to this because I haven't researched it, but when was the last time in the last 20 years that we had 3 losses or fewer after 9 games? It seems like we always have 4, 5, maybe 6 losses after 9 games. I mean, it's crazy. I don't know if we did it in 2016 or 2008, but it's just only 3 losses after 9 games. To me, that's fantastic.
Well, look, at the end of the day, I'm very I'm very happy with what the Miami Dolphins did. I think that we're going to win some more football games. The offense is going to become more exciting. The defense is going to level up. And all around, I think this team's going to get better as we move forward. And that's what the regular season is for, part of it, right? To win games, make the playoffs, but to also get better where you need to get better at. And everything tells me that this defense is going to get better. I'm not worried about it.
We're home for the next 3 weeks, so hopefully we also get healthier too. So
that would be nice.
Anyway, thank you. You have a great day. I'm going to let you go.
Love you, Big Dougie. Be good, man.
All right, you too. Bye.
Oh, Steve.
Yes.
You still there?
I don't know if you noticed or not.
Oh, yeah, you got rid of the beard.
Yeah, it's gone.
I'm not ready to get rid of mine yet.
My wife looked at me and said, "Where have you been?"
All right, Big Dougie. Love you, brother. Be good.
All right, take care. Bye-bye.
All righty. Next up on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network, #1 Miami fan morning show, my man Batman. Good morning, Batman.
Good morning, Steven. Good morning, everybody. It's exciting. Yesterday, Steven, listen, it was so crazy to me. I thought I was in a multi-universe. Dolphins got the victory. The fan base is coming together. You had Pete yesterday. I'm going to say this again because I know he's listening. Pete yesterday defending Tua and calling out Bears fans.
What?
And that is what, listen, everybody yesterday
that didn't happen. Did that really happen?
Everybody in the panel section, they saw it. Wow. I couldn't wait. I witnessed it this morning driving to work. Pete defending Tua against a Bears fan. It was unheard of for me, and I'm happy the fan base is coming together. And this is what I asked for. And I know winning cures everything. But
cures everything.
Everything. That's it, and that's all that matters, man. And listen, man, our defense had a bad day. It's okay. How many times have they picked up the slack for the offense when when we weren't getting points? Correct. I'm just waiting for that game where it's all clicking. Listen, special teams came out yesterday. We had that block punt. We've been wanting that. We're ranked dead last in the league until that. So I don't know how it's that changing. I love it. Let's get a little bit of return. We got a Cedric Wilson sighting. That was awesome to see. Obviously Tyreek is the real deal, man. I called the first touchdown he was going to have. I called it. He's going to get it. They're going to go to him. They did. Mike Gesicki was missing in action, but hey, hopefully he can pick it up next game.
I don't even think Mike Gesicki was missing in action. Again, that was the play calling, right? And I will also say is the personnel packaging that's on the field. And I'll also go as far to say that they definitely wanted Jeff Wilson to step up, and Jeff Wilson did,
But I love it though. Like I'm telling you, man, what I preached was instead of going at each other's necks, man, in the community, let's go against the necks of the opponents we're going to play. So right now, any Cleveland fans listening, come up to the panel. Tell us what you're going to do to us on Sunday. It's going to be a hell of a weekend. I think we're going to have a lot of fun, man. We got big celebration to celebrate on Sunday. So I'm looking forward to that. And fins up to everybody. And I'll keep listening. Preach.
Guys, for those of you who don't know, Batman2423 is the host of the Finsaholic Show right here on Wednesday nights on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. Batman, love you, brother. Thank you for coming on this morning. And, everybody will see you Wednesday nights right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast.
Let's do it. Fins up, everybody.
Fins up. All right, next up on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network, #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers, right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. I'm just going to say that 50 million times so y'all remember it. The #1 podcast show and the #1 podcast network right here. My man from East 32, Mr. Cameron 954, the best tailgate at Hard Rock Stadium. What's up, Cameron?
Hey, good morning, Steven. Good morning, Clock Blockers fam. How you doing, brother?
Pretty good. How are you?
Doing great, man. Back home, driving over to the Dirty Lab right now. Was in Chicago, was in the stadium for the game yesterday. It was amazing.
Looks like you had a good time, man. I called, for those of you who don't know, I called Cameron up. He was on his way to the airport in Chicago, and he's like, man, it was a great game yesterday. It was beautiful weather. And it sounds like the fans there had a good time, the Dolphins fans that traveled to Chicago.
Listen, man, we were showing out there. It was a lot of Dolphin fans. Dolph Freaky was there, Jared. Bob Finns was there. I saw a bunch of folks from the Toledo fan club. Tail Greeter was doing their thing with Nick. Man, it was just a great morning. And then the game couldn't have had a better day as far as weather goes, man.
It was a lot of fun. What'd you think of the game, man? Give me your thoughts on that before you get out of here.
So I'm with you, man. Like being in the stadium, you were never worried about the Dolphins winning or losing. Like they were in control of that game the entire way, and the offense was just clicking on all cylinders. I got to give big props to the offensive line. That's my first, takeaway is that our offensive line has been playing really well, especially in pass protection. I think they've missed some key blocks in the run game that could have sprung both Mostert and Wilson. Both of those running backs had opportunities to make big plays if it weren't for a key block that was missed. Secondly, man, you saw the impact of Bradley Chubb on the field in a couple ways. They collapsed the pocket, and it's kind of what forced Fields outside of the pocket and allowed Fields to get down the sideline and make those big runs and do some scrambling. But it also allowed Melvin Ingram some more rest, and he was more effective later in the game, Melvin Ingram. Did I lose you, Steve?
No. You're here. I'm listening to everything.
And I think, where I think where the misstep was with Boyer is that we didn't have, a robber. We didn't have a spy on Fields. And maybe they had to do a little bit more with, our depleted secondary and the opportunities they had to cover their men first and foremost, the wide receivers. And Cole Kmet, is a stud tight end. He got off with a couple touchdowns against our defense. So there's things to clean up, definitely. But the exciting part about this is that we have the personnel, we have the talent. Yep. We know our defense can play a lot better, and they will play it better. But I also agree with you. Our offense is Super Bowl worthy.
Oh, 100% Super Bowl worthy. 100%. All right. So for those of you who don't know, Cameron runs the East 32 Dolphins tailgate at Hard Rock Stadium. Tell the people what we got coming up this Sunday for the Cleveland Browns game, man.
Hey, we got Cleveland Browns in town, man. We're doing some beautiful double patty smash burgers. We're doing some Italian sausage with onions and peppers. We got some barbecue chicken sandwiches out there. Man, we're cooking it up for Chef Jew's wedding. That's going to be exciting. And listen, we're, it's the return of Jacoby Brissett. So I'm kind of looking for our defense to put some clamps on him and make him look like the fool he was last year. But he's played well this year.
You should get some brisket. You should get some brisket and make some Jacoby brisket burgers.
The brisket burgers, that's a good idea. But listen, we got to stop the run. We got to stop Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. And I think that's the defense is going to have their hands full again this week, just with a different dynamic. So it'll be an exciting game. I expect the Dolphins to win and for us to be 7-3 heading into the following week, man.
No problem, man. And if people want to go to East 32 and enjoy the tailgate with myself being there doing the Tail Greeter pregame show and DJ Breezy on the 1s and 2s and Solo D performing and just an all-around great experience with the food and drink, make sure you guys go to Tail Greeter today and get your Tail Greeter passes at tailgreeter.com or download the app today on your current Crapple or Apple or Android device. Love you, Cam. Be good, man.
Hey, have a great day, man. Have a good show.
All right, man. Bye. All right, Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers, right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. Hey, donate to the channel. Help the channel grow. We can't grow without your help right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. So when you guys donate, even if it's $1, it goes such a long way into helping the channel grow, man. So we appreciate any and all donations that come through. You guys can donate through a couple different ways. You can use the YouTube Live Super Chat, which is the $ below the bottom of the chat, or you guys can use Cash App, which is $MSM Podcast Network, or PayPal, which is also MSM Podcast Network. If you want the links are also in the chat that I'm about to drop right now. Definitely want to hear from you. or if you're able to donate, that's great. If you're not, hitting the like button and sharing this link are also great ways to help the channel grow. So thank you. All right, let's go to the next person I got up here, man. Let's go to my man Lewis. Good morning, Lewis.
Good morning, Stephen. Am I on? Is this cap blockers?
No, this is clock blockers, sir. Clock blockers.
Okay. Hey, again, we're gonna stay. Like I've said the last 2 weeks, Tua Tagovailoa has played very, very well.
No, he's played amazing. Get it right. Get your adjectives correct, Lewis.
I wouldn't say amazing. He played very well. Stephen, let me explain. Let me explain. 35 points on the board looks very good, but the same people that are complaining about that defense and special teams, right? They also put 7 on the board. So the offense only put up 28. That's number one. Okay, and I agree. It's a team game. Now, let's go to these throws. The 4th and 1 to Durham Smythe. There's people in the chat saying Durham Smythe didn't get his head turned around quick enough. Are we kidding ourselves? First of all, if Tua really didn't even want to throw the ball, he could have ran for 26 yards because there was nothing but green grass in front of him. So, again, that's a Tua mistake. And
it's not a Tua mistake. It's an area of improvement that he can expound upon. I agree that I would like to see Tua run a little bit more. But am I going to get mad when we're putting up as many points per game as we are when he's in the game? No, sir, I am not.
I'm not. Let me ask you a question, Stephen. And this is for everybody in the chat and everybody that comes up here and just everybody in general, right? Because we all believe we have a Super Bowl worthy team or at least a playoff team, correct?
Oh, we're definitely beyond. We're a 100% a playoff team.
100%.
I personally, but oh man, see, you done did it. You done did it, Lewis. You got kicked out. Be gone, Lewis. For 10 minutes, you're gone. You're gone for 10 minutes. He said, "Bye, Wolfpack." Kryptonian Collectors wasn't having it, Lewis. Wasn't having it. Right. Now, you big cap trucker, Sean said. I love it. Lewis, come back in 10 minutes, right? What is it right now? Yeah. So I'll see you back at 11:20, sir. 11:20. All right. Who should I bring up next? Let me bring in my girl, Pamela. Good morning, Pamela.
Good morning. Hello.
How are you? Welcome.
Thank you. I'm good. Dolphins won. What's not to be happy about?
Life is good.
Right? Unless you just can't be happy. Unless you're just going to be negative and find something ugly to talk about.
Hold on real quick, Pam.
I see Lewis. Bring Lewis back.
Yeah, I'm going to bring Lewis back real quick. Lewis, Mike brought you back from the dead.
I'm telling you, I got people out here that rock with me, Stephen. I got the homies in the chat, Stephen.
Look, I'm going to pause, Pamela, for a second. Finish what you were saying because they definitely, that and just so you know, Kryptonian Collectors can't donate 10 anymore. If he wants you off for the day, he's got to donate 50, or somebody else has to donate 10 to get you off. So Kryptonian can't do another $10 timeout on you for the rest of the day.
Well, see, there you go. And salute to Mike. But see, my thing is, Stephen, again, when we're in the playoffs and we're playing playoff teams, correct?
Yes.
This is what I would like to see Tua get better, because I agree. He's playing pretty damn well, in my opinion. He's exceeding my expectations, right? But on the throws to like Tyreek Hill before halftime and the throws to Jalen Waddle to seal the game, right? Those are under throws that if he puts it on the money, right, which an elite quarterback would do, those are 7 points. See, my problem is when we see those catches by Tyreek and Waddle and their 30 and 40-yard completions, everybody gets excited. Me as well during the game. But in the playoffs, what happens if we have those same completions, but then those touchdown-worthy plays that should be touchdowns, right? Let's say the drive stalls for whatever reason, and we only get 3 points out of those. See, that's where we got to be better. Why would I be happy with 35 points or 28 points scored yesterday by the offense when there was 42 or 49 points left on the board? When we could have had all those 50 burgers. How many times have I heard you Stephen say 40 burgers and 50 burgers, right? Well, this offense is capable. We're seeing that the offense is capable.
Do you blame that on Tua, or do you blame that? And by the way, I don't really know how to blame personally. I feel like, in my opinion, it's nitpicking, right? Like that's just how I view it. Because we're putting up, like, when we want to, Well, I think, Pamela, you even said, it was somebody who said it this morning. We went down the field in like 2.5 minutes and scored a touchdown. We can turn it on whenever we need to. Now, I personally think that's due to play calling. I think we got conservative in the fourth. And I also believe that, look, there are some things that Tua can do to get better, which should make you even more happier as a Dolphins fan, because it's like he's got more of a ceiling. We haven't even seen the best of him yet.
Okay, so what's the problem with me trying to get that out of him and calling him out on it then? Then why am I labeled a hater?
Because Tua's the best quarterback we've had since Dan Marino.
Okay, so congratulations. You got a cookie. You deserve a hamburger that Cameron cooks at the tailgate. So what? What does that mean? That he's the best quarterback.
Just hamburgers. Don't do my man dirty like that.
And again, this is why this show is cap blockers, because you just said you just said this offense can turn it on whenever they want. So they didn't. So are you telling me they didn't want to turn it off again or turn it on against the Steelers?
I don't know.
Why
McDaniel chose to is choosing.
Now it's McDaniel chose. Now it's McDaniel chose.
I don't know any other reason why they would stop. The play calling was different in the fourth quarter than it was in the first three.
Okay. Well, no. Listen, we were that throw to Waddle didn't change. We were throwing the ball down the field in the first half.
Okay, and
what changed? What changed with that throw?
Out of
that
the entire day, Tua had 2 bad throws, and we want to talk about the 2 bad throws that he had because he wasn't perfect. Why isn't it? Why? No, Lewis. Why isn't it just? You know what? He had a great, amazing day yesterday.
He played great.
That's it. That's all there is to it. There shouldn't even.
No, but that's not it. But that's not it, though,
bro. Nobody's perfect.
All right.
And if you want to talk about something, the defense is. You have every right to talk about.
Play like trash. They play like trash.
You have every right to talk about. And by the way, I wouldn't even go that far. I would just say the play calling on defense was atrocious, because not once the entire day was there a quarterback spy. Not once.
Well, no, they had quarterback spies.
That change alone would have changed the entire complexity of how Justin Fields reacts.
Well, no, I think Josh Boyer. I think Josh Boyer had the wrong game plan, because there were spies. There was Tyndall even got in the game. He was spying. There was a couple.
It wasn't working.
You know why it wasn't working? Because this is the game. Because I also see people in the chat talking about Bradley Chubb that he didn't show up. Right. Well, when you have Jalen Phillips and Bradley Chubb rushing the quarterback, especially with a mobile quarterback like Justin Fields, you're not containing. They're going upfield. How many times did all Justin Fields do was take a 5 to 7 step drop, and then once Bradley Chubb would run past them or Jalen Phillips would run past them, that lane would open up for him to take off.
People are saying Channing Tyndall was the spy yesterday. It just did not.
Yes, he was, and Duke Riley was the spy as well. They spied him. They were creating the lane. It was a bad game plan by Josh Boyer.
Another thing, Lewis, that should make you feel very optimistic about this team. We got killed by Lamar Jackson. We got killed by Josh Allen, and we got killed by Justin Fields. And you know what?
And they're all 3 wins
in all 3 of those games. We won all 3 of those games. Every last one.
And again, before I get out of here, Stephen, he played great. He's a big reason we won the game.
He's a big reason for our success as a whole.
I agree. Again, this is why when I get labeled a hater, I'm not a hater. I agree. The kid is playing very well, and he is exceeding my expectation. I think a lot of people.
Do you think he's playing MVP candidate?
I wouldn't listen. You got to crawl before you walk. You got to crawl before you walk.
MVP type numbers when he plays.
Yes, but okay. Is he going to win it over a Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes type?
I think the book's still out. Still out. We got a half a season to go, Lewis.
I told y'all this cap blockers. I mean, I love it, but y'all be capping out here, boy.
Look, I'm gonna say this, Lewis. I've never been this excited as a Miami Dolphins fan ever in the history of being a fan. I've never been this excited.
That's because you were alive 5 minutes.
Got me. Oh, I wish my board was working, because I would have went what. That one right
Listen,
there.
I've taken too much time, and I want Miss Pam to come out here and cook. So you guys have a great one.
Lewis, tell the people to donate and hit the like button.
Man, donate, like, and subscribe to Cap Blockers, man. If you love capping, this is the place to be right here. All right.
God.
We capping out here in these streets.
EM Baller just donated $2 a little bit ago. Shout out to EM Baller. What did he say? What did he say? He said, elite quarterbacks don't make every single throw, though. That's true.
Exactly.
Yeah.
True.
Well, okay. Like I said, that's cool.
Hey, Wolfpack, get out of here, Wolfpack. Get out of here.
Love y'all.
Love you, man. Bye-bye. All right, Pamela, man. What about what about this? Like, what I don't.
Okay, well, I actually can see. First of all, I want people to remember that Lewis started out saying Tua played great. Let's not.
He played good. He said he played good. I went to go.
He must have said very good or something. It was more than just good. I think Lewis's take was pretty good most of the time, a little too negative and harsh for me. I feel like you say, you don't focus on a few bad throws. And the thing on Smythe, what Tua said, and that came from Tua's mouth, he said that as he was fixing to throw the pass, that Smythe looked away. And then, so it was like he was already too much into the pass, but was kind of trying to pull it back. But it went, and Smythe had turned around, so it was short. Yeah. Was that on Smythe? Maybe a little on Tua. Yeah, probably a little on Tua. So it was just a thing that happened. It didn't quite work.
Thing that happened. Exactly. It was
a thing that happened. And also, the play call was excellent. So that was a great play call. It worked exactly like it was supposed to, except it wasn't fully executed. So it was just a thing. But he kind of underthrew a couple of times downfield. Had he led Waddle, that was 6 right there for sure. But the wind, people, don't forget about the wind. I don't remember specifically if that drive was into the wind, but or maybe it was coming across. I don't know. But the wind was a huge factor yesterday.
By the way, I want to say that's why I believe Jason Sanders didn't get chances in the fourth quarter to kick field goals. It wasn't because he missed the one. I think it's because that wind was crazy. And that's why I don't think he got a chance to go kick a field goal again. I don't think it. Look, am I happy with what Jason Sanders has done with the money we're paying him? I'd like him to be better. Don't get it twisted. But yeah, I don't think I can get mad at him about yesterday. That win was insane.
It just seems to be like common practice with him now. You know what I mean? Like he's just missing too many. When we all called him Money Sanders because he was money, right? Like, I mean, he could do it. Is a 24-yard chip shot going to be affected by the wind? Probably. But should he have accounted for it? Yes. I'm sure, Miami, Florida is a peninsula. There's a ton of wind. It's not like we're new to wind.
Look, I just me personally, I'm going to give Sanders the benefit of the doubt yesterday, but I agree.
Yeah, I wasn't
but I agree. We've
been
giving him a lot of benefit of the doubts lately, and we're like, we keep on giving him excuses. When are we not? So I think he needs to step up, because if not, we definitely need to figure out something else before the playoffs start, because I want a field goal kicker that's clutch, and we might need a field goal kicker to win a game here and there.
Yes.
So,
well, and another thing that I see a lot of people saying that really kind of gets me is, well, look who we played. We've won these games. Look who we played. How many times in the past?
Look who we played. We played Josh Allen. We played Lamar Jackson.
They're talking about like the Bears, the Lions, right? They're talking about those teams. Well, if you've watched those teams play, they've really played pretty well. You can't discount an NFL team. And how many times over the past 20 years have we said that we lose the games we're supposed to win? Well, guess what?
We put up
we won.
We put up 31 points we put up 31 points against the Lions. We put up 35 points against the Bears. My hope is that we put 30 plus points up against the Browns, and we put up 30 plus points against the Texans. And if you do that, you would have put up 30, 60, 90, over 120 points in 4 games. How are you going to get mad at that? You cannot.
You gotta get the joy where you can. It's a W. And maybe it wasn't pretty. Maybe we did get, not maybe, we definitely got a couple of calls that went our way. But
And so did
how many
they.
times have they gone? And I can tell you right now. So Justin Fields, a lot of those runs, you know how come the spy thing wasn't working? Our guys were being held bad. You look at that one where he just ran and ran and ran. We were being held really bad. Now, you can't take away from him. He's definitely mobile and looked good when he was running, but it certainly helps when defenders are being held. So the calls on the field, there was some went this way and some went that way. And fortunately, we actually got a couple calls went our way because we know how many times they don't. So I don't even want to hear about the calls. Everybody would talk about the Cheatriots saying, oh, well, they just find a way to win. Well, you know what? We found a way to win.
We did. 100% we did. We did.
We got the W, man. Be happy, people. Be happy.
I'm happy about it.
And our defense, so I also wanted to point out the defense. Our defense does not suck. Clearly, there were games we were in the game because of the defense.
Yep.
Our defense is wishy-washy. I'm not exactly sure what's going on with that, but if we can get everybody doing great things all at the same time, we are unbeatable.
Defense was a big reason we beat the Patriots. Defense was a big reason we beat the Bills. Defense was a big reason we beat the Steelers.
Exactly.
And we, if you even want to go far, further than that, you go back and look at the fourth quarter of the whatchamacallit?
Baltimore
Ravens game. Yep. And you go back and look at the fourth quarter yesterday. You say what you want, but
they stepped up.
They stepped up when they needed to. So for all the flack that we can give the defense, I think wishy-washy is a very good. I don't know if there's another
on and off, hot and cold.
On and off is a good way, because when they're on, they're good. Yeah. When they're on, they're good. So it's a matter of why aren't they putting it together for fourth quarters? And that's the.
And look at Chubb.
To me, it's not. To me, that's not a personnel decision. That's a coaching decision, and then that goes to
those missed tackles.
To Boyd. That goes to
the
Boyd.
101, football 101, the angles you take for a tackle. I mean, some of them were just bad. Some of them, you're trying to tackle Justin Fields. So is that going to be difficult? Yeah, that's not going to be easy. But I feel like adding Chubb. So I know, we saw some good play by him, but the guy was in London. Then he's back, traveling, new team, new everything. Give him a minute, and we're going to see him make a big difference, I believe, on our defense. So
anything else before I let you go, Miss Pam? Thank you for coming on.
Throw your fins up. Throw your fins up. Throw your fours up in the sky.
Love you, Miss Pam. Be good.
Thanks, Steven. Love you guys.
Love you too. Bye-bye. Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers, right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. It's Victory Monday, so I'm allowing y'all to come up. The link is in the chat. I want to hear from you all. Y'all are the best fans in the world, and I want to hear from you. Next up, we got my man from the Fins Tailgate, El Capitan, Chris. Good morning, Chris. Good morning, El Capitan. How are you, brother?
What it is, what it do, Steven. Good morning. First
Good
of
morning
all,
to you.
Miss Pam bringing the heat on
Bringing
fire
the fire.
this morning. I mean, dang, bro, what an act to follow at this point. She straight spit game the whole time. I got nothing to say. She done took all my points. on the real, though, I have a theory about the long ball accuracy that we're seeing at times.
Mhm.
First of all, I hope I hope Tyreek Hill is saying this to Tua, that, hey, man, I appreciate how accurate you are with passes 25 yards and under, especially on these route concepts.
Yes.
But when I'm going out wide, just air that mofo out. He gonna have enough speed to get underneath it and get and leave his guys behind. I still think that they're still figuring each other out. Guys, let's not forget, this is their first year together. It's only been however many games. That was their 8th game playing together, and they're still learning off each other. Because if we notice, there's not a lot of underthrows. Not that there isn't any, but there's less when it comes to Waddle versus to how we see with Tyreek. And I think he's just hitting them, trying to be too accurate. If that's, I know it's literally the weakest of criticisms ever. You're trying to be too accurate downfield. I think there's a little bit
Oh,
of
you
growth
think he's
there.
overcompensating?
I think he's just overthinking it, trying to be the perfect quarterback he likes to be. And I think that's part that we love the most about him is how perfect he tries to be all the time. But I think on those deep throws, I think he needs to go ahead and trust that I got the best wide receiver in the game and that I can air this puppy out. And he even if it's 12, 15 yards further than where he thinks he's going to be, that he's going to have the ability to run up underneath it and get there. And I think once they figure that out, it's a wrap, ladies and gentlemen. We're not going to see these, Tyreek Hill having to come back for the ball. We're going to see him getting up underneath it, running with all his speed, catching it, and thinking, "Wow, this offense it's already has every element of unstoppable." It's amazing. I feel you. I heard you earlier. You were talking about you haven't felt this way ever about the Dolphins.
Ever.
I
In my
have.
entire life, I have never felt this way about the Dolphins.
I have back in the years when we had Dan, but I was a kid.
I mean, remember, I'm 34, right? So for me,
I'm only 3 years older. I'm not even 3 years older than you, so it's not like it's that.
Yeah,
long,
but my memory of Marino was his last couple of years, right? And so, I wouldn't say we were necessarily Super Bowl contenders. We were playoff people. But
I can even remember back in the day, in Joe Robbie Stadium when I was like 7 years old, going there and just feeling like, wow, we got the greatest football team in the world with the greatest quarterback. But I agree with you.
I can tell you logically, I've never felt this. I've never felt this good as a Dolphins fan, and I think it's a prime, expectation to believe that Tua Tagovailoa is the reason why. And this team just plays different when he's in the game. They do.
I'll concede to this, Stephen, that it seems like Tua is the reason why this team is together. And what I mean by that is the team themselves on all positions, defense and offense, they love this guy. They believe in this guy. They play, I don't want to say they play different because that would mean that they would play less than when he's not around. But I believe that they're playing and they believe in each other. And it comes with his leadership on this football team. And it's something to behold, honestly. It's something I think plenty of us have doubted, and have hoped, but we're really seeing it at this point. And I mean, look, bro, I don't know what else to say. The only criticism I could have on this team is our rookie head coach is getting real cute in the fourth quarter, throttling back at times.
Dude,
that
I
needs to
agree.
stop, bro.
It bothers me, but we're winning games. We're winning games. So
but
I
can't help but feel like it's going to cost us one that we're going to go, geez, bro, we've been seeing this for weeks.
And now it's come back to put us. I agree. I would like us to see be a lot more conservative in the or less conservative in the fourth quarter and more aggressive. I think, I think that's why we have not seen 40 burgers. I think we easily could have saw 40 burgers the last 2 weeks if we were aggressive in the fourth quarters. Would you agree with that?
Oh, I completely agree. And I think, again, there's before the half, before the end of the game, he seems to just get a little, I don't know, too cerebral, if you will.
Hey,
Starts
breaking
overthinking
news
stuff.
out of the NFL. Breaking news out of the NFL. Frank Reich, head coach, I believe, of the Colts, right?
Frank Wright
has been fired.
Yeah, I seen that coming. Colts are in complete tank. If I know anything about the owner of the Colts and the Colts organization, there's a quarterback in this year's coming draft that they got their eyes on.
Coach of the Indianapolis Colts. Man.
There's a quarterback that they got their eye on, Steven, and they're in full tank mode right now, which doesn't do well for my fantasy team because I got Jonathan Taylor on my fantasy team and I'm getting swamped. But it is what it is. Look,
hey, well, let me ask you before you get out of here real quick before I bring on the next person. Is Tua an MVP candidate right now? And that's my first question.
I would say he's in that conversation. Like when they're writing down names, they're gonna go, oh yeah, Tua, yeah, you know what? Kinda. Let's see how it goes. If he would have played those 3 games that he missed from the Bengals game on, I think he'd be in the forefront of that conversation.
Me too. Me too.
I think we just need to, I don't want to say pump the brakes, because I don't want to hold any Dolphins fans back from anything of possibility, because to me, this football team has everything possible right now. That's just a fact. Let's wait and see a little bit. I know he just had back-to-back 3-touchdown, 300-yard games. Dan Marino hasn't even had that. That's an amazing feat for the organization.
I need people to understand what we're witnessing here too, and appreciate the historical, presence of what we're seeing through, look, Tyreek Hill has over 1,000 yards in the first 9 games, right? He's at 1,100 something yards right now, which is amazing.
It's ridiculous, bro.
Right?
It's ridiculous.
And then our second wide receiver in Jalen Waddle, I think he's over 800, if I'm correct. And so he's a game away potentially from being at 1,000 yards, which means by the bye week, it's potential we could have 2 1,000-yard wide receivers by the bye week. And that's, just think about that for a second, right? It's really insane to think about, and it's awesome to think about. One of the other things that I think is also very interesting too, is what the Dolphins need to do to, I don't want to say the word gel or come together, but we have not
play a complete football game is what you're talking about.
And for me, one of the things that I thought was really interesting, El Capitan, was, we're sitting here in week 10. We're a little over halfway through the season, and we haven't even played a complete game yet, offense, defense, whatever, for 4 quarters altogether, right? So, to me,
I'll be honest, Steven,
that makes me more excited, right? That makes me more excited. Dolphins pod, let's swim. I love it. Andrevius. Let's go.
I'm not even sweating it so much because we're getting the dubs. I do worry about it because I think of this football team as a contender.
Yes.
As long as we start seeing it when the teams get hot, we start, look no further than what San Francisco typically does. The last quarter of the season, they're firing on all cylinders going into the playoffs. If we see that happen with this football team, then yeah, MVP conversation, the full 9 starts really be going on with this team. How about the AFC East though? Best division in NFL right now.
I know.
I mean, goodness gracious,
AFC
bro.
East and NFC East, right? So the AFC East is the best in the AFC, and the NFC East is the best in the NFC. And
East side soldiers,
the farther you go out west, the worse the divisions get.
That ain't no lie, bro. That ain't no lie. All right,
so,
Steven, I'm gonna bounce up out of here, man. I appreciate it, guys. Everyone, hit the like button, donate. Everybody already know. Support the channel, support the community. I'll see y'all.
Guys, ladies and gentlemen, El Capitan, the Fins Tailgate. Make sure you guys go check out the Fins Tailgate YouTube channel. They're absolutely amazing. Got a lot of beautiful people up there, including this gentleman who's on camera, which I appreciate. I've always said if you're on camera, I will move you to the front of the line. So let me bring up this person first. Mr. Color Commentary. Good morning, Color. You got to talk, Color. Got to say something.
How's it going, man?
It's going well.
God, man, I want to say so much, but God, we won.
We won.
Gotta love that, man. Another 30 burger in a row.
It's not 30 burger. It's a 30 piece.
30 piece. Okay, is that what we've going with now? The verbiage we're using.
Burgers.
All right. Man,
and if we ever score 50, we'll figure out something then for us.
I'm gonna start. Okay, so look. I really like a lot of what Pam said, and
Pam might have had the
way she delivered the part about our failures on defense was very astute, and the way she delivered the part about the refs and all that, she was able to do it without it sounding like an excuse. But if I start nitpicking why our defense, like the mitigating circumstances, I'll be accused of making excuses, and I don't want to do that.
You don't want that.
I've never allowed anybody to make excuses for Tua, so I'm not going to I'm not going to make excuses for the defense, right? We have terrible tackling skills in the mid-level, seriously. We cannot tackle a fly.
It is frustrating.
Now, there's a certain amount of credit to Justin Fields for that. I mean, it wasn't as if, there was time, mid-level, tackling problems, but I think the front four is okay with tackling. I think we do a good job of shutting down your basic average runs. You know what I mean? And keeping the edge contained. But
I don't.
I saw Jalen Phillips get out, match square up with Justin Fields. He didn't take no cheese. He had a nice wide base. He was and Justin Fields just beat him, man.
Justin,
I mean,
Fields
it wasn't a matter. I don't think it was a fault on Jalen Phillips per se. You know.
Now, look, here's the thing: when somebody's on top of their, like, let's go back and look at this, right? Justin Fields, Lamar Jackson, and Josh Allen, right? When players are on, when you have quarterbacks that are just in the zone, and Fields, by the way, yesterday was in the zone. You could play the best defense in the world sometimes, and it just is not going to be stopped. Now, with that being said, I'm not saying that our defense was playing the best in the world, because they weren't.
Well, that's true. That's true. But you know what I've said the past couple of weeks?
Was on it yesterday.
We still held them to less points than we scored, and that is a credit to the offense. Although people I'm surprised you haven't reminded everybody that our defense actually scored. And I'm not going to play the semantics game, whether it was special teams or not. I've played football. The punting unit is literally the defensive unit. Okay, the punt return unit. Okay,
hey, look, special teams, defense have always put in the same thing, but it doesn't matter. You know,
my scorecard still got 6 points for our special teams touchdown on defense yesterday. You know,
I ain't mad at it.
So, but that's beside the point. As far as the defense goes, we defended the castle. That's all we needed to do, and our offense scored enough points to win. On Mike McDaniel, on the other hand, I'm not going to nitpick him at all. And so people can think of this as making excuses for Tua all they want, but Tua played a great game yesterday. Did he have some bad throws here and there? Was he perfect? No. You know what I mean? But what I really want to see,
let me ask you, why do you think there's the expectation of perfection with Tua, with some of the fan base? Not all of them, but there is not that.
It's not that. It's that when people bring up a certain play and they want to talk about it, see, there's also the expectation that we imagine that Tua is perfect, and when we don't, we get accused of things like nitpicking and all that. I don't care about the throws. Here's the key to the ball game. Tua hasn't thrown an interception in 2 games.
Correct. Actually, he hasn't thrown an interception since September.
So we can play around all we want. My only problem is Mike McDaniel seems to think that a 3 or 4 point lead is time to play around with the playbook. That's got to change. It's going to cost us a win.
Isn't a Tua issue. That's a McDaniel issue.
Of course.
That's a rookie head coach, and
of course, but then we go round and round and round about.
And our offense is in the position that it's in because of our rookie head coach. So I can't
of course, and that's of course, and that's why what are we supposed to do then? Just never talk about anything our team needs to improve. You know what I mean?
So by the way, all your points, very fair, very accurate. Just want to say that. I think from a social media perspective, because we're on social media all the time, we run platforms, you and I think to me, there's a very loud contingency of Tua, Tua didn't do this. Why wasn't Tua perfect on this? And so for me, that it just brings up a very interesting topic within the fan base, because I don't understand why we want he has the highest completion percentage. I think he's over 70% in his last 3 or 4 games, which is amazing, right?
And I've been shouting it from the rooftops, Stephen D, but yet I still get called hypercritical and whatever else.
Well, no, it's.
I spent all last week telling y'all that I thought that the problem was Mike McDaniel, not Tua. I am starting to get concerned with taking the ball out of Tua's hands, because here's the thing, Stephen D.
I don't like taking the ball out of Tua.
But the thing of it is, bro, is when he makes those couple mistakes that every quarterback makes, when we're taking the ball out of his hands in critical situations, or when he's dealing and we can go up big,
he's number 3.
Well, he never has a chance to redeem that. I mean, let's be honest, man. like Tua was dealing yesterday, despite whatever couple bad throws, whatever. And we're going to run.
So real quick, let me just pause. So when Tua made, so I want to bring up 2 points to that. Number one, when Tua made I'm just going to say it was a bad throw because that's what it was on the 4th down. That if he had made that completion, it would have been an easy first down to extend the drive, and we probably go down and score. Okay. With that being said, I knew the moment that it happened, I said, man, everybody's going to be talking about how bad that one bad throw is and how bad the underthrow was.
If
right?
you want to pause for just a second, that's where I actually have a nuanced disagreement with Pam. I think that is actually a bad play call.
Okay.
Now here's the reason. We know
he was wide open. He was wide open.
We know that
it was just a bad.
We know that its results would have worked.
Yeah.
We know that it was set up to work. Yep. We know that it was the 2 players involved who failed at execution as to why it didn't work. Right.
Yep.
Here's why it was a bad play call. Because that play is harder for those 2 guys to execute than everything else we had seen all day. That's why it's a bad play call.
I mean, they didn't execute it, right? So that's why it's a bad play call.
But do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%.
It's harder. There is something to be said about probabilities of execution.
Yes, 100%. And it goes
back. And look what we've done all day long.
It goes back to McDaniel's play calling in the 4th quarter, which again, I'm not going to get too upset with. I agree that we don't want it to come and bite us.
As long as we're winning, we can say, hey, it's okay, McD.
But I also think that as long as we're winning, who cares? And
well, it's not a matter of who cares. It's a matter of the topic of discussion. You know what I mean? I don't care to talk about it. If nobody ever brought it up, I wouldn't say one word about it. But I can't. I have to figure out, because of the stats you mentioned, which are starkly opposite of what they were last year.
Yeah.
Okay. But because of the stats you've mentioned, we have to give credit to obviously more weapons, and to his credit is utilizing those weapons
100%.
But my point is that the stuff that's giving him those stats, Mike McDaniel just snatches away from him
in the 4th quarter and lets it go and says, let's go conservative and let's protect the lead, which is not like, no, put your foot on the accelerator and let's keep doing what we're doing that we've done for the first 3 quarters, and let's put up some more points and let's put this thing in the bag, and that's how you win the game.
Right.
So
right.
I agree.
Now I'm not gonna like heap praise. Oh, it's like you had said, is Tua the reason? Well, somewhat, yes, but so is a lot of other aspects of our team. You know what I mean? That being said, what Capitan was saying, look, I can't explain it, Stephen.
You're talking about the wheel. Right.
The
wheel that brings everything together. And
and I can't explain it.
Line has
and I can't explain it. But in the 6 games that Tua has played, we're scoring 27.5 points a game now after yesterday.
And to me, it's the wheel, right? So within this wheel, there's but
I'm not going to imagine that the other guys don't have the ability. Okay. I fault McDaniel for that too.
I don't want to get into that.
We treated the Vikings like a preseason game, and
that's a whole other conversation.
We treated the Vikings game like a preseason game, and you know it.
I will say to you, Color, without getting into that conversation, is that I believe when Tua's in the game, the team seems to be more confident every step of the way. And to me, that's
whether they do or they don't, we score 27.5 points a game,
and we win. And
our defense, well, despite having major holes, obviously, tackling, we can't get in the backfield still. And 9 games in, Stephen D, is that our identity now? We just can't tackle?
No.
Because this is why I get upset with McDaniel. If we know that, and you and I are going to accept that right now, that we just can't tackle, and that's a problem, we need to be putting up 40 and 50 burgers. We just have to be.
I hear you.
It's unfortunate, but that's the way it is. You know what I mean?
And as long as we're winning, I think we're good. And that's all I need. All right.
I think that's why people get so upset when we don't put up the numbers that everybody wants to see, because they see Buffalo coming, you know what I mean, and all that nonsense. And it's like,
I think we're going to be fine. I think
so too. MVP, real quick. I want to give an answer on that.
Yes.
Pete tried to pin me down about the elite question yesterday. and we get for the second day in a row. And we boiled it down to, look, he is playing at an elite level. Whether he's elite or not, who knows? That takes time to find out. But it doesn't have to take time to find out. But generally, in this case, it's going to take a little more time to find out. But is he playing at an elite level? Absolutely. Does he make mistakes here and there? Yeah. Elite players do too. But the MVP question, and I hate to break the bad news, be the pessimist here. You know it's political. You know there's a pecking order, Stephen D. And you know Tua is not in it right now.
I disagree. I think he's top 5. I think he's in the discussion. And I think I want you to think about this.
You know that all the haters are going to say it's because of this, that, and the other.
If Tua averages 300 plus yards and 3 touchdowns with 0 interceptions, and let's just say for the sake of the argument, he averages 1 interception every 3 games. Okay. That puts how many games do we have left? We're at 9. We have
before
10.
You keep going. I agree with you.
Yeah,
that he is playing at an MVP level.
Numbers.
He is playing at an MVP level. He deserves to be in the conversation.
Yes.
I'm just saying, for the same reasons you guys yell and scream all day about the Nationals hating us, they are going to find reasons not to put him in the discussion. And the biggest reason in the book is Tyreek Hill. The fact that some people are talking about Tyreek Hill himself being MVP. So they're going to use that, Stephen D. Let's just be real here, man.
So the 3 times 8 is 27, right?
32. No, 24.
24. Okay.
Right.
See, good job, guys. Thank you for helping me with math is hard. All right. So 24 plus 15. That puts us at 34, 30, 39. That puts him at 39 touchdowns. 39 touchdowns. If he averages 3 touchdowns the rest of the game.
Okay, but in fairness, we should see some regression to the mean. You know that as well as me. We got tougher opponents coming up, divisional opponents coming up.
Okay. I mean, I'm just
saying.
Not saying
we're not going to win.
Yeah.
Just saying.
I think 39 touchdowns. And what does he have? 3 interceptions right now?
Yeah. Now that's the part I didn't expect to be quite as low.
So if
given the more chances he's taking, you know what I mean?
He finishes with 30 touchdowns, let's say 32 plus touchdowns, and let's say 9 interceptions. Let's say 9 interceptions, 32 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Anything above 32 touchdowns, it keeps on adding to the optimism that
well, as you've heard me say a dozen times in the offseason, if we got equal performance out of Tua from last year, he should see 4,200 yards and 32 touchdowns.
Yeah. And by the way,
we're getting well better than equal performance than last year.
And let me just say this. I think Tua is going to have a game where he throws 1 or 2 touchdowns, but I think he'll make up for it with another game where he throws for 4 or 5. So
right. Well, that's what I meant by regression to the mean.
I think it'll be average out to be about 3 touchdowns per game when it's all said and done.
Sure. And the thing of it is like I said, we're getting better performance out of him than we got last year.
Yeah.
And I was calling for 32 touchdowns with equal performance. So that's why I'm not saying it's all just Tyreek. You know what I mean? It's not all just Jalen Waddle. Yes, Tua is a lot of the reason we're winning right now.
Yep. All right, man. Anything else before I let you go?
That be it. Just clip that and spread it all over the internet, please. And y'all quit attacking me all the time. Later, man.
I love you, Color. Ladies and gentlemen, color commentary of the Fins Tailgate. Color got off. Make sure you guys go follow Color Commentary. And good guy. All right, next up, my brother from another mother, Mr. Triple S Podcast is in the building. What's up? I love the Tua shirt, man. Love the Tua jersey.
Steve? How you doing?
Man, I'm on cloud 9, man. We're 6-3. We're one of the best teams in the entire AFC. I'm very happy with where our team is at right now, man.
All right, I agree with some of that. I'll give you my take on the game and on the team. So first thing I want to say, you see I got my Tua jersey on. I thought Tua had a great game. He did have the 2 to 3 mishaps that everyone's talking about. You've been talking about, and how people have been talking about it. But I honestly overall loved his game. I thought he played very well, took what they gave him, took some stuff that, they didn't even necessarily want to give him, some deep stuff. So I thought Tua played a great game. I'll start with that. Moving to the defense, I thought they were pretty soft. People are saying, they came up late, but, we got lucky with some penalties that were called on them that pushed them back. And we also got lucky with some penalties that weren't called on us. So overall, I would say pretty soft defensive performance. And it makes me very worried for some of the mobile quarterbacks that we're going to face moving forward, a la, Josh Allen, even Zach Wilson is pretty mobile. Guys like, who else are we playing that's mobile?
Yeah, but, Triple S, let me
even
just
Herbert
say,
can move,
I know I've said this already, Triple S, but let me just say, look, we faced Lamar Jackson. We faced Justin Fields. We've come out with W's and all those.
I hear you, Steven.
And there's something to be said of that.
Yeah, no, I hear you for sure. But it's not like you can't say just because we beat them, but they've all turned up on us as well. And there's going to come a point, maybe there will, maybe there won't. I shouldn't say there's going to come a point, but there could come a point where one of those guys turns up and it ends up being, they score a couple more points than us and it costs us in a big game. So I don't think you could say because we're soft and we can't cover mobile quarterbacks that, it's fine because we beat 3 of them, because just because you beat 3 of them doesn't mean you're going to beat all of them. It's still worrisome. I still don't like that we are not able to contain them. Our lane integrity, I think that's the biggest part. We're getting upfield. There's a lot of teams I watch where they have edge rushers and they'll get upfield a little bit, but then if the quarterback starts to escape up, they're quick enough and they have enough lane integrity that they're able to jump back inside and cut off that lane and get sacks or prevent the quarterback from getting huge gains. We don't seem to have that. Our edge rushers are just going straight upfield. They're not cutting back when the quarterback starts to go upfield, which kind of worries me. Hopefully we start to feel Chubb a little more in his impact. One other thing, the run game, it looked all right at times. Jeff Wilson was good, but overall it was only 3.3 yards per carry. So not a great day running the ball. I do want to give our offense a little bit more credit too, because the Bears is no cakewalk. They did lose Roquan and other homeboy there, Robert Quinn, but there's still a decent defense, good secondary. So credit to our offense. Last thing I'll say before I leave you is, I said it in the comment section, don't know if you saw it, but I think when you say stuff like you would only take Mahomes over Tua, and I want to preface this by saying, not to say you can't say that, not to say it's wrong to say that. Just what I observe is that when you say things like that, it draws out the comments that you claim you won't tolerate about Tua. And I don't think, like
Why
I said,
do you think that is? No, let's talk about it. Why do you think that is?
Why do I think that is?
Mm-hmm.
So I think when you say that,
why is me making my point about Tua being, elite going to drum up those comments?
The same reason that those comments that people say about Tua draw out the same response from you when you get heated and say you won't tolerate it. It's the same thing. People are on opposite sides of the fence.
So you're saying the extreme of both sides causes the other side to hit the extreme.
In a sense, I would say that's the case. And again, like I said, I don't think you're wrong.
This is my point. Okay, Triple S. This is a fair conversation to have about this. In my opinion, we are seeing something from a quarterback that we haven't seen since the likes of Dan Marino. And even Dan Marino hasn't accomplished a couple of the things that Tua's accomplishing this year. Those are facts. Those aren't opinions. Those are straight facts, right? So when we're seeing this, and for the last 30 plus years, we've been searching high and low of a quarterback that can lead this team to the next level, whatever that may be. We've had 27 starting quarterbacks since Dan Marino. Cleo Lemon, Tyler Thigpen, Chad Pennington, Trent Dilfer, or not Trent Dilfer, Trent Green, the list goes on and on. Chad Henne, Ryan Tannehill, just Jacoby Brissett. The list is just goes and it goes. Well, now we have somebody who's putting up the numbers that we've all wanted from a quarterback forever. And we're winning football games with him. The man is 12-1 in his last 13 games. He's 12-1 in his last 13 games. So not only has he been putting up numbers, we're winning football games. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the last 13 games in the entire NFL.
I'm with you. I'm with you, Steven. Like I said, I'm not saying you shouldn't say that, you can't say that, or that you're wrong for saying that. I'm just saying that, in my opinion,
you're saying
I could be wrong too. I think you're drawing it out a little bit.
And my whole point is, I think if one thing people can get in their minds is perfection is not a thing. It's not a real thing. And I believe that there is a certain portion within this fan base that believes that when that if Tua doesn't make every single pass perfect, that he's not the guy. That, oh, he doesn't have the arm strength. Oh, he doesn't do this. Oh, he doesn't do that. The reality of the situation is Tua's playing better than 90% of the quarterbacks in the NFL over the last 13 games. And he's winning, and he makes the rest of his team around him better because of the confidence that he's been instilled recently over this year, as well as the confidence he exudes to the rest of the team. And we can tell that by people playing like the defense, right? The defense played bad for 3 quarters, but they came out in the 4th quarter and they made a couple of stops. So, and Steven, what does the defense have to do with Tua? I've been at every game this year except for, 2 or 3 games? And I can tell you that in the games that we lost, that I was at, there was just a different swagger about this team that, on the sidelines, and when Tua's in the game, there's just a different swagger about this team. And to me, the swagger when he's in is confidence. And this team is confident that when Tua's in the game, we are going to win. And that is something that can't be bought. It can't be paid for. It has to be something that's implemented with the personalities within this team. And I'm telling you, the personalities within this team is a beautiful one. It's a beautiful one.
I'm with you, Steven. I agree with 99% of what you just said. Yeah, I agree with 99% of what you just said. Like I said, I'm not trying to change your mind, tell you can't say it. I'm just saying I think that, whether you know it or not, maybe you already know this, but I just think that you should know that comes with the territory, and to expect that, why do people keep saying that? Because I think what you say kind of draws that out the same way that they're drawn out. I think it kind of goes hand in hand. But I think there's people that it's going to take a little bit more than other people. Some people are sold. Some people were sold from week 1 and 2. Some people will need a full season. Some people have been sold from when we went 5 and 3. So I think people just have different marks of when they'll be ready to get completely sold on board. I think if we get to the playoffs and win a playoff game and he continues this level of play, I think that number of people that are saying the things you don't necessarily want to hear and don't agree with, I think that number is going to dwindle and dwindle and dwindle. If he continues on the right trajectory, on the right path, exactly. And him playing well will cure a lot as well. And if he continues on the right trajectory as he is right now, we can mostly all agree that he's playing very well, damn near elite level right now. If he continues that, especially against the good teams, then that number of detractors, that number of people that are nitpicking, it's going to go down and down and down. So I'll leave it at that.
All right, Triple S. I love you, brother. Thank you for supporting the channel. And you are always welcome on the channel, my friend. No matter what you say or feel, Triple S. Tua's the guy. And I know that you believe that too. I'm just messing with you. Love you, man. Thank you for coming on this morning.
All right, take care.
Yep. Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers, right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. I want to remind you all, please hit the like button and donate to the channel. I don't care if it's $1. It goes such a long way into helping the channel grow. We're trying to do amazing, beautiful things. Over 270 of y'all watching right now. I want to remind you all, Miami Sports Music Podcast Network has evening shows too. That's right. Tonight at 7 p.m., Nando Talk will be live to talk about the game from this week and everything that's going on. Tuesday nights at 8 p.m., the Dirty South Fantasy Football Show with Eric the Commissioner and Lorenzo Ice T. Thomas. And then I want to remind you all also Tuesday nights to my Spanish-speaking podcast members, listeners, every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Hellfins, the Spanish-speaking podcast about the Miami Dolphins, is live every Tuesday night. Wednesday nights, we got the Finsaholic Show with Batman 2423 live at 8:30. Thursday night kickoff with Jason Sarney. And then at 8 p.m., it's Nonus with Nonus Nights. And then Friday afternoon, we got the Lunchtime Rewind with Nando Talk again. And starting this Friday, our brother CB83, Finn's Take with CB83 on Friday nights at 8:30 p.m. So remember, we got the evening shows covered for you all as well live. And so when you all donate, it helps the channel grow. And there's a lot of things we want to do, and we're trying to grow and we're trying to expand. So please donate to the channel. It helps. You can use the YouTube Live Super Chat, Cash App, or PayPal. The links are in the description below, or you can just use the YouTube Live Super Chat, which is the $ below the bottom of the chat. All right, let me bring on the next person. My man, speaking of Friday nights at 8:30 p.m., one of the brothers and members of this channel, Mr. CB83 himself. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. How's it going, Steve?
How are you, man?
I'm doing good. How's the voice level, man? I'm driving, so I just
No,
wanted
you're
to
good,
check in.
man. Your voice level, you sound perfect.
So what's going on, man? How you guys do today, man?
I'm doing well. I think that a majority of the fan base is doing well. I do think there's a very small a few that are questioning, and maybe rightfully so, with some of the defensive letdown from yesterday. But overall, we're 6-3. We're a game and a half or a game out of first place, or maybe even half a game. What are we, 6-3, and they're 6-3, right?
We're close
half
to being there, man. We're close to being in first place, man.
So that the AFC East as a whole is just very, very solid right now. It's very interesting how the end of the season is going to turn out. But I'm interested to know how you thought the game went yesterday and what's your thoughts about everything, CB.
Man, I thought the game went well. I think and I try to put things into context and take into consideration that the injuries on the defense and all that they have going on right now. I understand that, it's going to take some time for them to really lock in because they're missing pieces and they're plugging and playing guys and they're trying to get used to each other. So I understand that part of it. The offense is clicking. They're doing their thing, which is good. I'd like to see special teams kind of get a bit more consistent and the defense to get a bit more consistent. And I think we'll be ready for this playoff run. But until I see that, I'm not going to, I'm not going to just be all in on the team. I think we really do have the ability to be a Super Bowl contender, but there's some things that we got to tighten up for sure going into the playoffs.
Dude, I agree with you, but I also think that there's a lot, but we have time to do that, right? We have another whole half of the season to get that accomplished. And I feel like for the people that are questioning some of the things on this team, for the same reason that you're questioning, it should also give you some optimism. Like, man, we haven't even reached that level yet. And I know I'm repeating myself on some of the takes that I've said from earlier today, but I believe that's all we can do. We're 6-3. Like, how are you?
Yeah.
I don't understand the no, let me rephrase my statement. I get how fans can be critical. That much I get, right? But how can you not be confident in the direction of this team? The confidence should be on high. Should be on all.
And I'm with you. I think some fans in general are just a little bit too critical, and they don't really understand, like, all the nuance that comes with playing football and comes with, running an organization. There's a lot to it. So it's not always going to be just as easy as going out and winning a football game. There's a lot to it, like travel, injuries. There's a lot. So you got to take that into consideration. And, for all the adversity we faced through week 9, I mean, I think we're in a really good position, to make a run at this thing. I mean, you got to be positive about that. I mean, we've lost our first string quarterback, our second string quarterback, our third string quarterback at a time. And we're still, we have a high winning percentage. I mean, so I think, we just got to continue to protect Tua, continue to, execute on offense, continue to get better on defense, and just keep digging in every day and going to work and, putting your hard hat on, go to work and try to get better, man. And I think we'll be a much better football team as a result of that.
All right. So the question for today is Tua a MVP candidate today? Is Tua an MVP candidate?
Yes, through week 9, the way he's playing, I mean, when he's been on the field, he's produced consistently. I think he is. I think he needs to be in that conversation for sure. I mean, the kid's done nothing but produce when he's been in the game. He's carried us at times, and when you look at the the title of it, the most valuable player, I mean, he's really kind of been that at times because our defense hasn't been the one to carry us at times. Now he's had some games where the defense did carry us. I mean, that happens as well. But he's really been a large part of our success. A large part of it.
I agree. Before I let you go, there's a lot of people in the chat that are saying hello to you, that love
What's
you.
good,
that think
everybody?
that you're absolutely amazing.
I
And
know. I
I
get
just
all
want
the
to give you the
love.
opportunity to talk to your wonderful, amazing fans in the chat.
Hey, man, I appreciate everybody, whether it's the Wolf Pack or whether it's the Tuaneers, the Tuasexuals. I love everybody. I mean, I love my Fins family, and I understand that some of us are bitter Dolphin fans. Some of us are hopeful. Some of us are just faithful to what we have as an organization. I understand where everybody is. I know people in each realm, whether it's being bitter or being
Look, they're coming after you.
It's
They're coming
look,
after you. See, you're breaking up. They're coming after you. All right, CB83 is breaking up.
Oh, am I breaking up? I'm breaking up.
You were at the end there. Want to give you an opportunity.
So can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Better.
Yo.
Yep.
Yeah, man, I'm driving. So yeah. So
I want to hey, real quick, shout out Friday's show. Or not. All right, CB83, ladies and gentlemen. Nah, you're good, man. Get out of here.
No.
I'll shout it out for you. Be good, man. Ladies and gentlemen, CB83. I think as soon as he started addressing the people in the chat, they got him. Y'all got to him. Man. Y'all leave my man CB83 alone. He's got so many fans out here. So many. All right, Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show. Clock Blockers right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. I want to remind y'all, hit the like button. Donate to the channel. Donate. If everybody donated $1 right now, I want all 240 of y'all donate $1 right now. $1. It goes such a long way. It helps the channel grow. Donate at least $1. Let's go. Okay, here we go. Next person up is my man Pete's Take. Pete, good morning, Pete.
Good afternoon, Steven. What's up, buddy? Everybody out there, shout out to the whole entire community.
Hey, what's up, Pete? How are you? Good morning, sir.
Nothing much. You know how I am, Steven. It's Victory Monday. Look, I'm gonna tell you how I am, Steven. I'm proud. I'm proud that this fan base is getting together. I'm proud that the Tuaneers are happy with what we see and what we're getting. The Tua doubters are still out. I'm still out here with doubt. But I'm just happy that you guys are happy, and that makes me happy. But I hear you all with the MVP talk. You guys are getting a little excited and a little ahead of yourself. But I'm proud of you all. And you know what? It's good because it's a good feeling to be 6-3 with doubt on my team than actually be right sitting at 2-6 and feeling like a stinky skunk. You know what I mean? So I'm actually happy and I'm truly excited for this Tuaneer fan base and the whole organization as a team. Regardless, they're pulling it off. You know, they're pulling it off somehow, some way.
Well, you got your cell connection is a little bad. You sound like a little bit of a robot. I got that everything you said, but I've heard that you've been very positive and that you were defending the fan base as a whole to some Bears fans over the weekend, man.
Oh yeah. I went off on that Bears fan, and I'm glad the Dolphin fans feel like I'm defending my team. I was at a certain point, but it got outrageous. Shout out to Capitan and the Fins tailgate over there. That's where it happens. But at the same time, that Bears fan came in right after the loss, and he came in acting like he won the game. This guy was screaming at Dolphin people on the Dolphin panel like if the Bears won the game. He was all like, "Oh, you guys suck." Bro, give us credit when credit is due. But here's the question, Steven. There's two doubters out there. Where were our sacks yesterday? We don't have a first-round draft pick, Steven.
Okay.
Where were our sacks? The Bears gave up 4 to 5 sacks per game. I'm upset at that. Number one, that is something that needs to change moving forward.
Don't disagree.
Okay? Tua keeps doing Tua things. And you know what? I'm proud that Tua is not out here throwing those dud games like last year, getting 200, 160 yards passing. I'm actually a little happy that he's getting a little stock and people are happy. But let's not forget, Steven. Let's really not get it. Because you guys are now jumping on top of a unicorn. It's not even a horse at this point. We played the Detroit Lions and we played the Chicago Bears. Two bad teams that we almost lost to, Steven. And we needed a block punt to beat the Bears. Like, these underthrows in clean pockets, Steven, are truly irresponsible from a quarterback, whether he has the arm strength or not. Okay? It is what it is. Right before halftime, you probably were mad on your seat that we didn't kick a field goal again, and we went for it on fourth down.
I wasn't mad. That was
but guess what? I said you probably were, but guess what? We would never have been in that scenario if it wasn't for Tua underthrowing Tyreek Hill again. These are touchdowns we're leaving on the field. Multiple bad plays. But yet we're supposed to talk about him. No, this is the thing. This is the thing with you Tuaneers. You want him in MVP conversations, but the reason why he's not is because he's not making these plays that we're talking about. If he makes, I called 3. Lewis was out here yesterday talking about one to Waddle that I don't remember. That's 3 touchdowns, Steven. We're talking about 50 burgers here. 500 plus yards is what we should have got in all reality. Not a nail biter at the end, Steven. This was a nail biter. My nails were looking good, but now 2 of them are missing.
This wasn't on our defense in any way, shape, or form. You're going to put it all on Tua?
100% this is on Tua. It wasn't on the offensive line, Steven. It's on the clean pocket and him underthrowing it. Who is that on? The receiver's doing his job. McDaniel's calling the correct play call for Tyreek Hill or Waddle, and Tua doesn't have the intangibles to get it out there further. Just 3 more yards and on a rope. Did you see that Matthew Stafford to Cup touchdown yesterday for 69 yards? That was the type of throw on the rope that Tua needs to do to get the yak we need to get this offense over the top. Are we going to fall in the Olympics jumping the hurdles, or are we going to finish the race, Steven? That's what's important here. You guys can all be satisfied and happy that Tua this and Tua that. Yeah, you know what? You guys are right. If you base down what Tua's been doing and you look at the stats right now on paper, then guess what? Tua has been playing at an elite level. Can he do better according to what other quarterbacks are doing this year? Heck yeah, Tua should be doing better. And he's not because of his limitations. And stop, Tuaneers, going at me like I'm wrong. At the end of the day, we're dealing with it. We're winning with it, which is the most important part. But you know what? That was against the Chicago Bears that lost their 2 captains on defense. 2 captains they were missing. It's not regular players, captains, and Roquan Smith and Robert Quinn. Okay?
Bye, Pete. Bye. Rashad said, give me 10 minutes and try again, Peter. Oh, my goodness, Rashad. There we go. Give me 10 minutes and try again, Peter. Oh, my goodness. Pete, I love you, but I can't sometimes. I just can't. Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers, right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. Miami Sports Music. I wish my thing was working because I would be going, dun, 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 but it's not working. I got to get this thing fixed. Anyways, subscribe, like, share, and donate. Help the channel grow. Let's go. Shout out to Chef Shu. who's getting married this weekend, and I'm gonna be there helping officiate the wedding over at East 12 and East 32 Dolphins tailgate. So make sure you guys show up to that. It's gonna be a lot of fun. All right, let's go. Lil Power of Dreadlocks Hype Man 305.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Let's go. Let's go. I love it. What's up, man?
What up, Steven?
What's going
How
on?
dare you? How dare you? We need Madness Monday, bro.
Madness Monday.
Yes, I need a panel, bro. This one at a time thing. No, I don't know. I need madness. Look.
No, it's Wildin' Out Wednesday.
No. We need it crazy all the time, bro. Football season's only
Is this
I don't know, 19. Yeah, it sure is. Okay. Anyways, man, listen. I got some good things to say about this game and some negative things, and please let me finish. On the offensive side of the ball, I'd like to take my hat off to the coaching staff because, yes, there was not that many penalties, and the offensive line played very good. Tua had a clean pocket throwing most of the day. And hats off to Jefe Wilson for coming. I nicknamed him. He's the Jefe. That means the boss in Spanish. Yes, we finally got a decent running back. He looks good. Stick with it. Yeah, Boyer, I'm looking at you sideways right now because you got way too many players and on that side on all three levels that you should be able to do something to not look that bad. But hats off to Justin Fields, man. The guy, you know, I started to raise an eyebrow towards where I like, is this guy at least maybe elite in this with this running against Dallas? And he's been doing it for a couple of weeks, man. So hats off to him for having a good game. I think he's going to be. I got two takes right now. I think that sound ridiculous. I think that the AFC East should have 3 teams in the playoffs come the end of the year or end of the season. And I think Justin Fields is the best quarterback that's going to come out of that 2019 draft. Better than what's his name in Jacksonville, better than Zach
Trevor
Wilson,
Lawrence.
and better than Trey Lance, right? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on
Can
with
you hear me?
everybody's internet today.
Yeah,
Hello?
but can you hear me?
Yes, I can
Can you hear me?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I
can.
think so. I think he was in the draft. I think he's going to end up being the best one. Bro, man, I think he's just a little bit spotty with his accuracy. You know, I think he's gonna. You know, he might be on that Jalen Hurts trajectory. So we'll see. But yeah, that's all I had to say. I don't even want to talk
Justin Fields? I said
about
Justin Hurts.
Justin Fields.
Yeah, he's good.
No, Jalen
He's
Hurts. Jalen Hurts. I think he's on that Jalen Hurts trajectory, bro. That's where Jalen Hurts was last year.
I understood what you were saying. Man.
But yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say, man. I liked a lot of what I saw from Tua.
Do you think Tua is an MVP? Do you think Tua is an MVP candidate right now, Lester?
Man, I don't even want to talk about that. But if you're gonna put a gun to my head, I think he's a dark horse because what he's showing you intermediately with the intermediate part of the field. And he had a run for 4 yards that I really liked a lot. That he ran out wide. He got. I mean, the fact that he was able to turn the corner and get 4 yards. I think what meant the most to me out of that run was the timing. Like he chose to run at the correct time. And that's what I've been saying Tua needs to add to his game, take it to another level so he starts having more comparisons to Steve Young because I think that's his ceiling. You know what I mean? But I think he's a dark horse for sure. I think what's hurting him is the fact that he missed 3 games. You know what I mean? So that's about it, man. I like what I saw from him. I think he had a solid game. And the reason I like what I saw from him is because the Bears pass D, remember I said last week, is definitely better than the Lions. And look what he did against the Bears pass. I'm just looking at the matchup. I don't care that the Bears if you look at the record, like, they sucked. And they came out like the Chicago Justin Fields because that kid put that team on his back. So I think our fans need to give that kid some more respect. Yeah, our defense looked bad. They need to tighten up. But that kid I think he's gonna be able to do some things in the NFL. So
it was funny. I'm at the Maryland Dolphin Club yesterday out in Gambrills, Maryland, and I'm sitting there watching the game, and I'm like, man, we're making Justin Fields look like he's Michael Vick. And I was saying that the entire day. And, now that you're like talking about it, I'm like, man, Justin Fields
bro,
definitely.
I'm telling you, man, it's no joke. Go back and watch some of the games he's had this year. And I think he's got elite legs already.
He's got some really great tangibles.
Bro, like, what do you do? What do you do if you try to funnel him to the interior part of our defense? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He just goes around you. What do you do?
And by the way, I'm not comparing Justin Fields to Michael Vick. I was saying yesterday the Dolphins were making Justin Fields look like Michael Vick. I think Justin Fields is a good quarterback. And what I will say to you is, I think it says a lot about our team that it doesn't matter how good a quarterback does, that we still can pull out W's against players like Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, and
let me throw this hypothetical at you right now. So I don't care what our fan base says. I'm not a homer. I said it when from what I've seen from the Jets, I believe that they have a top tier defense. I believe they're for real.
Who, the Jets?
Go back to that draft. Can you imagine the Jets with that kid at quarterback right now?
Who, Justin Fields?
Are you kidding me?
I mean, it would be. They would be scary.
Are you kidding me, bro?
Scary.
The ceiling on that kid, man. I'm just saying. I think he's going to be the best one in that draft if he can get his arm right. And I don't think he's too far from it, man. I think, you know what I mean. From a second year guy.
A lot of stuff on this channel, and I will say that's probably one of the most accurate things you've ever said, man. I agree. I think Justin Fields is legit.
Let me say something about our quarterback. Our quarterback. I know a lot of people think that I shit on Tua, but I think that I'm just okay. Yeah, I apologize. I think I'm just. I don't think I'm overly critical. I think I'm just correctly critical, and my timing is week by week on like my take. So I think he's on the right trajectory right now, man. I think he's on schedule where he should be for a third year quarterback. From all the guys from that draft right now, the two guys that look like they're on the right trajectory as far as third year is Jalen Hurts and Tua, bro. If you really think about it, they look like they're the ones that are peaking at the right time in their third year. I'm just saying, man. Jalen Hurts does have a good offensive line, but the kid is smart.
He is. All right, man. Anything else before I let you go, Esther?
What?
Get out of here, bro. Love you, brother. Be good, man.
Okay.
Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers, right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. Hope y'all are enjoying the show. If you are, hit the like button. Donate to the channel. If y'all would, please donate, even if it's $1. 230 of y'all in the room. Can we get 230 likes? We're at 173 likes. And if you are not subscribed to the channel, go subscribe now. Please go subscribe. We are less than 300 subscribers away from being at 10,000 subscribers. So go subscribe. Tell your mother to subscribe, your granddad to subscribe, your cousin, your auntie, your brother, your sister, your neighbors, your Fins fam. Tell everybody to subscribe to Miami Sports Music's YouTube channel. We can't grow without you. We need you. Thank you. All right, let me go to, is it fool's gold? Is it fool's
Steven,
gold?
Perhaps that's the $1 million question.
It's crypto.
That's the $1 million question.
Greens, tomatoes, yeah.
I only pose that question based on history. That's the only thing. I'm not saying it is, but that's only a question because based on the team's history. That's all. Steven, to answer your question of the day, I would say I would use Estefan's term. That's a good term. Dark horse candidate. That's the proper term in this aspect, only because of the missed games.
Okay.
And that's what he'll get dinged on because there was at least one or two games that you could say our defense helped them out more than he did. Even though he contributed to the win, he wasn't the sole factor. And they're looking at the MVP candidates. Most of the time is heavily biased towards the quarterback, meaning the quarterback is mostly 90% of the chance teams wins percentage. They're the reason why. Like Aaron Rodgers and then let's say Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson, they distributed the ball a lot more evenly. It wasn't so dominant by one or two guys. So that's the only thing that's making Tua a dark horse candidate and not MVP candidate at the top. But it's possible in the next 8 games to change it.
Crypto, when it's all said and done, do you think he'll be up there at the end of the year?
If the games are played, well, I would say this. Because they're going to look at this game. Yeah, we got the win. He was a part of it. But they also going to look at the composition on how we won, won the games going forward. We will have to win convincingly at least a couple of more games. I mean, convincingly winning, and he's the reason why. That's when they'll just put him ahead of the MVP race, because that's what they look for in MVP candidates at the quarterback position. When Aaron Rodgers and all of them when Brady was winning it, they was clearly dominating, and their team was blowing teams out. We're not. We're winning by 3 points every week. And that's the only thing that the media is going to hit Tua on, because the team is not winning by big margins.
And that's the only thing. I think that the Miami Dolphins, when it's all said and done, are going to be there at the end. I think we're going to be one of the best teams. I do think that our defense needs to step up in many different ways. And I think that the Miami Dolphins, though, there's been flashes of the defense that have made me be like, well, even with these injuries, we can show up when we need to. Why can't we put it together for 4 quarters?
When the defense has a good game, the offense have to take the day off, and vice versa. That's what seemed to happen. So and I think this is who we are, Steven.
Bringing it together, right? It's just a matter of bringing it together.
But I don't. All year to do but that. We're 9 games in, Steven. I'm not even sure if we will ever have that game, and that's what worries me.
Look, that's fair, I guess, to say, right? To have that reserve of, well, we haven't done it yet. Why? What makes you think halfway through the year that we're going to? And I would say because every game, something shows me that this team is we're for real, for real.
Well, yeah. What was it? The scoop score block punt for a touchdown? I know that didn't, because that was the difference of the game. I'll be
honest with you. I like the fact that we stopped them when we needed to in the 4th quarter. We did.
Well, did we really? Because Mooney, that guy clearly dropped the 4th down pass that was catchable, and we all know the obvious hold on the pass interference on Trace Claypool.
Well, look, a game is a game, and every game throughout the 4 quarters is going to have blown calls, missed calls, drop passes, all those things. And so it's a matter, even if it didn't happen, it didn't happen. So we did what we needed to do. We don't know that. We don't know that he didn't drop that pass because, he was scared to get hit, or, he was getting nervous because he's in a tight moment playing against, a good people on. We don't know. Right. So,
but the point is, he dropped the pass. It was nothing that the quarterback did. It wasn't bad quarterback play. The Bears lost. Right, what I'm saying.
That's fine. But again, I for the 15th millionth time this morning, I don't care how good a quarterback plays, because we've had quarterbacks blow us up this year and we've still won those games. Doesn't matter.
They have. Yeah, that's true, and the opposite happened as well.
No, that has not been the case.
Quarterbacks didn't play so well, and we lost games. Kirk Cousins didn't have a good game in the game we lost to them.
And the moment Tua loses a game this year, I will be more than happy to dissect that game inside and out and say, okay, what is the reason that we lost? But Tua, we have not lost a game when Tua started.
Well, you could have did that. You better go send a thank you letter to Noah, because that would have happened in Pittsburgh.
It didn't happen though.
But I'm saying, but you could still objectively dissect what we need to do better for him not to be in a situation.
Played the best game of his career and stepped up when he needed to step up. Thank you.
But I'm just saying that would have been one of those games. That's all I'm saying.
But it wasn't. We won the game, Crypto.
But you're missing the point.
No,
I'm saying that would have been. You're saying just because Noah bailed him out, there's nothing he needed to do to improve.
Let's get some. That Pittsburgh game was Tua's first game back from a major injury.
And he scored 13 points in the first quarter.
Okay.
There was no rust.
And the last 2 games, this team has put up 30-plus points.
Okay.
Tua's a big reason for that.
Okay, the defense, the special teams did get a touchdown yesterday.
People arguably said that the Detroit game was Tua's best game of his career. Arguably, people said that.
It still is up to this point.
In this game, he still put up 300-plus yards and 3 touchdowns.
Well, he put up more yards in the Detroit game. What are you talking about?
Okay, so
it still is his best game.
That's fine. He still put up 300. Like, I don't get what we're arguing here. I'm a little confused because Tua's playing the best football of his entire career. And what I hear from you is, and please correct me if I'm wrong, is that you're not on board with you think Tua is a liability?
I never said he was a liability. Where do you get that? Where do you extrapolate liability from?
I just don't understand what you're arguing with me for.
No, I'm saying that I'm saying what you're saying, that you're acting as if there wasn't games where our offensive output, even when he was in it, the defense didn't step up and cause us to win the game.
Let me ask you, Tua put up 300-plus yards, 3 touchdowns, correct, yesterday?
Yeah, I'm not talking about yesterday's game.
No, okay, well, let's start with yesterday's game. Jeff Wilson came out, scored a touchdown, ran the ball effectively yesterday, correct?
Yeah, he was all right running as far as running rush part carry.
It was effective. Our defense, our special teams scored a touchdown yesterday, correct?
Oh yeah, the block pump scoop core, which is technically a defensive score, because that was a defensive player that blocked the punt.
100%, I agree with you. And our defense, when they needed to, showed up in the fourth quarter and made 2 drives stop without the offense scoring anything. Correct?
Yeah, they did. Faced with adversity, the Bears
all-around win, people. We had our offense show up, our defense showed up, and our special team showed up. Did they show up at all 4 quarters for the entire 60 minutes? No, they did
just
not.
Only in the fourth quarter.
But they showed up when they needed to show up, and we won the game. It was an all-around team effort to win yesterday. And as long as every game the Dolphins go into that, they are going to be exactly where they need to be. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is in the win column. That's it. We're winning games. That's all that matters.
But yes, you still have to say that there's lots of room for improvement everywhere.
I'm not denying that. You're not getting that argument from me. I'm not giving it. Because
what happens if Jason Sanders misses a 26-yard field goal again in the playoffs and it loses the game?
2 things. If you listen to me this morning, I said, I'm going to give Jason the benefit of the doubt, but when do we as a fan base start saying, well, hey, man, look, I understand yesterday, but Jason doesn't get too many, get out of jail free passes from me anymore. He's missed way too many.
He can't blame the holder. He can't be blaming the special teams coordinator.
Look, I'm going to give him the pass yesterday because the wind was insane.
No, it wasn't. That was early in the game. That freaking flag, those flagpole the flags thing was standing still. The wind didn't even pick up yet.
But here's the thing.
That was a clear miss.
I'm not even 100% that I'm backing up Sanders. I'm just saying that he's starting to get to the point where that could be a liability. And it does scare me a little bit that maybe we need to think about other options the deeper we make a playoff run. I agree with that. I don't disagree with that.
The wind haven't even picked up yet.
I am also not ready to get rid of Sanders yet either. And by the way, we're talking about a kicker there,
Well, somebody probably need to bring somebody in from Australia to challenge him. One of those soccer kickers that will challenge him.
and to that, and you know what? To that point too, Crypto, I will also give you that. I think the Miami Dolphins. Let's play what if they had went down and scored and left a minute on the clock, I still would have been confident that we could have gone down and scored a touchdown with Tua. I would have been.
That means they would have had to. Yeah, that means they would have. That means that they would. But they was playing ball control offense. They probably would have had no time left on the clock. It was under 2 minutes.
I mean, look, again, we're playing the what if scenario, right? What I am trying to point out to you is that as long as there's time left on the clock for Tua, I'm confident that we can win some games. That's
that's fair. But I'm thinking in that sense, if they would have scored a touchdown, that would have probably been a game-winning touchdown.
I don't agree.
Because they would have just left no time on the clock.
It's a what if, but what I will say to you is, as long as Tua has time and Tua has the ball should be in his hands, and they should go down. Now, the only thing that bothered me yesterday, and it's not that it bothered me, it's just it sucked that it happened, right? It's one of the plays of the game. It happened, and that was that fourth down. That he goes to the right and just, I don't know what he did, but he had the guy wide open and didn't get it to him.
Yeah, to Smythe, he threw. Yeah,
Yep.
that was a Josh Allen throw it in the dirt, fork ball in the dirt moment.
Yeah, and
Tua was literally having a Josh Allen moment at that time,
and that sucks, right?
and that's the game that came to my mind. I was like, oh shit, we're about to have all these great numbers and still lose the game. But yeah,
because the defense ended up showing up.
Yeah, they did at certain moments of the game, but they don't get a complete pass, Steven, just because
I'm not saying that they do. I'm just telling you that when Tua, in my opinion, is the answer to all things that lead to wins.
You can't say that exclusively.
All right, you're gone, Crypto. Sorry. Don't come back, please, God, don't. Oh, man. Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show. Clock Blockers right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. Let me bring in my man, Alex. Good morning, Alex. Alex, you there? Alex. All right, Alex, I'll come back to you. Let me go to Franzi. Franzi in Germany.
Good morning, good evening. It's already dark outside.
It's dark over in Germany.
So first of all, to the chat, yeah, I know I got long blonde hairs. I'm a dude with long blonde hair, but I did not make that touchdown yesterday. Okay? Fine. Man, Steven, how many people you pulled up? Like, I was waiting and waiting. I did the whole laundry. I started cooking.
I wanted you to finish your laundry before that you did that. I saw you folding your laundry in the background, and I didn't want you to have an excuse. Man, I was on Steven's show. That's why I didn't get the laundry done. I was helping you out, man. I was helping you out, my guy.
Right now, I'm dicing cucumbers. So, I'm called the Book of Tour today, Tour 2.0, because I got this one. And it's 2.0 because there are too much things standing on for kitchen tissue roll. So let's talk about a few stats. Most of these stats are among QBs with minimum 68 throws. Passer rating, #1, Tour 115.9. Second one has 8.1 less.
Yep.
QB rating, #1, Tour 79.7. #2,
Man, coming in here with notes, y'all. Y'all better pay attention. Go ahead.
3 less. Only player with 4 games over 80 QB rating, and 2 of them over 90 QB rating.
What are you reading from?
It's a notebook.
No, turn it around.
Sorry, it's a book
the
of
book of Tua 2.0. Okay, I see what you're reading from. Good job.
Completion percentage, #4, 69.9%. #1 is Smith with 73.1, and then Zappi and Burrow are before Tua. Intended air yards, #4 with 9.2 intended air yards. #1 is Jameis Winston with 11.4. #2 Mariota. #3 Trubisky. Completed air yards, #2 8.3 yards. #1 is Winston with 8.8 yards. That makes an air yard differential per attempt of minus 0.9 yards. That's #1 in the league.
Okay.
attempts, he's only number 22 with 216 attempts.
He also missed 2.5 games, and he only throws the ball 20 to 30 times a game.
Yeah, we come to that.
Yep, doesn't matter. Next.
Brady with 398, and then even though he's just number 22 at attempts, at yards, he's number 14 with 1,980 yards. Number 1 is Mahomes with 600 more yards, but also 115 more attempts. That's like half of
I know, that's
Tua's
crazy.
attempts
That's crazy.
on top. That makes yards per attempt for Tua 9.16, for Mahomes 7.87 yards.
So that means every time Tua completes a pass, it's 9.5 yards every time he completes a pass on average.
No, every time he throws, it's 9.16 yards on average.
I love it. I love it. I'm good with that.
Touchdowns. He just is number 22 in attempts. Keep that in mind. He's number 4 on touchdowns.
He's number 22 in attempts.
Yeah, and
he's number 4 overall for touchdowns.
With 15, number 1 is Mahomes with 21. Then are Allen and Burrow also before Tua. Compare that to.
And by the way,
Mahomes.
Tua didn't play 2.5 games, and he's still number 4 in touchdowns.
So touchdown percentage for Mahomes is 6.3. For Tua is 6.9.
MVP. All you're doing is saying why I believe he's an MVP today.
Interceptions, 6th least with 3. And no, as you already told, no interceptions since September. Among players with minimum 200 attempts, he is number 4. Only Brady, Hurts, and Jones have less. So Daniel Jones. Now, very important point. Time to throw. He took a bit longer this week, so he went down 2 spots. Now he is number 6 with 2.6 seconds. But I think like with 0.03 seconds, he would be number 3. Number 1 is Brady with 2.4 seconds. Then PJ Walker, Burrow, Rush, and Rodgers and Garoppolo are in front of Tua.
Look,
Again,
I'll say this. I think that Tua has as much time as he needs in the pocket to throw for the most part. I think he's very comfortable in the pocket. At least that's what I believe I've seen over the last few weeks or last few games. I can't say that for the games before, but I think that the offensive line has stepped up tremendously in the last 2 to 3 weeks. And I think that's a direct result of, obviously Teron Armstead being there, as well as, seeing some people just step up, period. So I think that he looks good. Dude, you're saying all these stats and they're great. And it just further computes to me that Tua is an MVP candidate today, and he's playing like a top 5 quarterback in the entire game. And the numbers are showing that. Number 4, number 1, number 1, number 1, number 3, number 4, like they're all top 5 stats in the game. And where he's not off by much. And so I like what you're saying, Fran. I think that the Dolphins, again, have an MVP quarterback in Tua Tagovailoa. That's my opinion of it. Do you think Tua's an MVP?
Let me first finish the stats. I just have 2 left.
2 left. Go.
So most passes of 20 plus air yards. And during this, he has 61 or 62. I can read that number. I got a bad handwriting. 0.9%. So it's around 62%. Number 2 on 20 plus air yards is Allen with 55.1. That's 6 or 7% less.
Wow.
And many people are saying he has many yards because of the yards after catch. That's nonsense. Only 38% of Tua's yards are yards after catch. That's the least in the NFL by far.
I love it. I love it. All right, man. Anything else before I let you go, man? You gave us words of wisdom. You gave us the book of Tua 2.0 today. I love it.
Yeah. Any last words? I don't think Tua is this season's MVP.
Okay.
Because he, at the end, maybe it will be because he wasn't there for 2.5 games. But I think a good front runner for this season's MVP is Pete.
Is Pete?
Pete, I don't like I hate his takes, but Pete gets this show money. And I would like to have stats about that. So I beg you to, from now on, make statistics about how many cash you got because people wanted to see Pete out or inside the show. Because
you want me to keep stats for Pete and how often he gets kicked out?
MVP. Yeah.
And see if he's the MVP of the show? That's not what makes an MVP of the show. What makes the MVP of the show are people like you that show up every day and are here to listen and enjoy the channel. Just because he, gets kicked off and what doesn't make him an MVP. He's an MVP. He's part of an MVP because he's here all the time, and we love him for that. So, I love you for that, brother. Keep doing what you're doing. Dolphins, Germany, and love you, brother. Be good, man.
You too. Bye.
Yep. Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers, right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. We're in the afternoon now. We're in overtime. Let me bring in my man, Todd Liberto. What's up, Todd?
Hey, I'm not upset about the Smythe throw. If you looked on it, he looked over to the Tyreek Hill. He was covered because that was the play. And then he went back over, and Smythe didn't look at him, and he had to hold the ball just a little bit longer until Smythe looked, and that's why it went down. When you hold the ball longer, it'll go into the ground. That's just automatic. I was more upset with the Waddle play, but I still give him an A game. You can't do anything but give the man an A game.
Tua gets an A for this game. He doesn't get an A+, but he gets an A.
But he forgot one of the big stats about Tua this year.
What?
The thing in the past I've always been worried about is third down. Tua this year, third down, has a 147 quarterback rating, 601 yards, and 8 touchdowns.
So what you're saying is Tua's really good on third downs.
147 quarterback ratings, basically perfect.
Yeah, 158.3 is perfect, right?
Yeah, and he has a 147 this year with 8 touchdowns and 600 yards.
That's breaking news, right? So we just saw that the head coach of the Indianapolis Colts was fired.
Yeah.
Colts are naming 6-time Pro Bowl center and ESPN analyst Jeff Saturday as their interim head coach.
Wow, and he hasn't even been on a sideline before.
He's been a consultant for the team, is in their ring of honor, and was named head coach for a high school Christian academy in Georgia. Recent, I think in the last year or two. So now he will be the interim head coach. He isn't even on the coaching staff, and he's going to come in and
that's what I'm saying.
That's crazy. That's insane.
I'm just saying the improvements with Tua this year is sky. And going by what he said, if Tua didn't miss those games, he could very easily lead the NFL in passing in yards.
I think if Tua doesn't miss those games, I think he 100% is in the quarterback MVP or the MVP candidate.
I think he's still in it. I just think he'd be the front runner if he didn't miss those games.
Yeah, right now I would probably say, if I'm realistic, he's probably 5 or 6.
But if you think about it,
but I think he's top 3 personally.
Who did everybody predict to win it this year?
Mahomes is usually there. Aaron Rodgers, the usual suspects.
All right. Aaron Rodgers looks far from it. Mahomes is doing well.
Yeah.
Josh Allen has 8 interceptions now. He's actually on pace to lead the NFL in interceptions.
I know.
You got to look at it. Tua is playing. Every quarterback needs a system around him. You look when Marino came here, Miami was a run-first team, and then they switched the system around him. You need to have a system around your guy.
Yeah.
and we finally got the system around our guy.
We do 100%. I agree with that.
And I have to get to work. I just wanted to come on and say that. I just don't want to hear all the negativity. I'm just sick of it. You know what I mean? What you said today before you start bringing on guests, I completely 100% agree with you.
Love you,
Let's
man. I
enjoy
agree.
this.
All right, Todd. Be good, man.
Hey, take care. Love you, bro.
Yep. Love you too. Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers. Hey, 190 plus of y'all in the chat. We had 300 at one point today. We lost 100 people in an hour, but we're still at 200. I love it. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it moving. Hey, donate to the channel. Help the channel grow. If everybody donated $2 right now, everybody donate $2. Just donate. Matter of fact, just donate $1. Donate $1 right now. Every single person that watching, donate $1. It goes such a long way into helping the channel grow. Okay? Donate. Help us grow. All right. Let's see here. Alex, are you back? Are you back, Alex? Alexander. Okay.
Steven, I'm going to a bad area. Give me.
Yes, I will. Crypto, welcome back, Crypto. Crypto.
I'm here.
What's up?
Yeah.
They got you out, man.
Yeah, I know. Those carpetbaggers like freaking Dravius. I get them.
Stop name calling. No name calling.
That's actually a compliment.
I don't know if Andrevius would think that is. We apologize to Andrevius.
Okay, Andrevius, I'm sorry for calling you a carpetbagger for buying me a drink.
Oh my goodness, I can't stand you. All right,
Steven, we can't have this exercise of belittling our opponents, and then after we beat them barely, then all of a sudden they're the best thing since sliced bread. We can't make this a habit.
What do you mean barely? Like I understand we won 35-32.
Meaning
right?
the margin. That's what I mean by barely. The margin.
Well, that's fine. That's fair. I'll give you that.
I'm just saying we can't do it like after the fact and say, oh, I didn't realize that they were the best at this or the best at that. We do it like way after the fact. But going into the game, we treat them like they're freaking everybody's redheaded stepchild. We can't do that. We got to acknowledge who we're playing against before we play them. And then if we win or lose, just acknowledge what was done great and what was not done great. I think we got a bad habit as a fan base doing that. Like, for example, a lot of people like to throw around that, oh, they were 5th in the league in defense against the pass. But guess what? They were 32nd on third down. We just got a litany of Tua statistics on third down and how he was on third down. And that was exceptional, right? But we also have to acknowledge the context of the team that we played against was dead last on third down. It's not Tua's fault that the Bears are dead last in third down defense. He just took advantage of that, which is what he's supposed to do. And that was good he did that. But also, we must acknowledge that those were the factors as well. Because there's also quarterbacks that don't even take advantage of the Bears' bad third down defense. That was before the Cowboys game and our game, obviously. But yeah, before that, they wasn't taking advantage of that. But the Tua and the Cowboys did. So that's what happened with the Bears.
The Bears.
Yeah, they actually did. Justin Fields did pretty good for himself. I hate everybody having a coming out party against us. You know what I'm saying? It always seemed to be us that somebody has a coming out party on. That's the trend that we have to stop, Steven, because that might bite us in the playoffs. We don't want some unsung hero to do that. But remember, there's only one coach in the history of sports that thwarted all that, and that was Don Shula, God rest his soul. That every coach this day going forward is subject to that, falling victim of that, and we got to clean it up.
Well,
Don Shula was the only coach in sports history to thwart that from happening. So I just don't want it to bite us in the butt, Steven.
Well, I think that the Miami Dolphins need to keep just doing what they're doing, and that's winning football games. And as long as they keep doing that, all is right with the world.
That's true.
No, it
But
is.
guess
There's
what?
no arguing that.
Everybody can't win 17 games, Steven.
We haven't. We're going to be 14-3.
I know, but everybody said we were supposed to go 17-0.
I don't think we're going to be 14-3. I think we're going to be 12-5, but that's neither here nor there.
That was my official prediction, and I changed it to 11-6. But yeah, we will win more games than we did last 2 years. I will say that much.
I think I
will guarantee that.
I would love to see 13-4.
That might be enough to get us top of the conference.
Guys,
we win 13
another
games.
note in the book of Tua 2.0. It says, "Thou shall hit the like button, spread the link, follow the show, and donate to the channel."
That's true. What you're waiting on? Hit the like button.
Donate.
Like, comment, subscribe, donate.
All right, Crypto, get out of here. I love you, brother.
Hey, Steven, you going to the Cleveland game? You going to the Green Bay game?
I will be at the Cleveland game.
Oh, man. Steven, you need to come to Foxborough and Buffalo with me. I'm thinking about going up there. You got to come up.
You see, the way my bank account is set up is it backs up to my savings, takes 3 business days. And one more thing. Crypto, you're out of here. Bye. Andrevius just paid $10 on Cash App to get you out. Man. He said, for freedom of speech ain't free. Bye, crypto bum. Oh, man. Too funny. Steven, I'm done donating to Silence officially. I'm wasting money. What are you talking about? I just got it. It said 12:58. I saw it at 12:59. Jesus. Andrevius want things done right away. It's not like it shows up on the screen. I saw it in the email. It didn't even pop up on the Cash App link yet. God. Thank you for the donation, Andrevius. Anyways. The 2 in ears will run out of money eventually. No, I don't know. No, you owe me, Steven. What are you talking about? I owe you. What do I owe you, Andrevius? I need a credit for a suspension. You always ignoring me. What are you talking about? You let that man carry on for 5 minutes. You said it says the donation $12.58. I saw it at $12.59. You want a $1? You want a 1 minute credit? What we do? Giving credits now? No, because if I start credits with you, then I got to start credit. What? You want a 1 minute credit? All right. You know what, Andrevius? For 1 minute, I will give you a credit. So if you get timed out for 10 minutes, you will only be timed out for 9 minutes. One time. And by the way, you're sending it to my personal Cash App. I don't think you're sending it to the VP Miami Sports Music one. So I think that's why I'm not seeing it. Yeah. I'm not getting it. I'm getting it to my personal Cash App, which I'm only going to see the emails. I'm not going to see the thing on my phone, just so you know. I don't know how you still have my personal Cash App. That's funny. All right, fine. Here's the deal, Andrevius. You have a 1 minute credit. Okay? You have 1 minute credit. Please start sending them to the VP Miami Sports Music instead of my personal Cash App. Oh, now we're going to be sending. Now we're throwing tomatoes. Gosh. All right, let me bring in my man, Manny. Manny!
Yeah, boy. What's good?
What's up, Manny?
So where do I begin, right? I'm going to start real quick with Crypto and his what ifs, right? Talking about Noah saved Tua. Noah saved himself because had we lost that game, it would have not been Tua's fault, but you could easily blame Noah because he was playing like trash that whole game. So that narrative of he saved the game, he saved himself. All right. let me just get that out the way. If you guys agree with me or not, y'all could let me know in the comments. Y'all could kick me out because I know I'm on a quick time limit. So let me get it all out. That there was that. Tua for MVP. The way the NFL works, right? He will get it if he gets it right. But I believe Tyreek Hill, even though wide receivers don't win MVP, he's the most valuable player on this team. He opens up the field for Tua to do what he's doing right now. You know what I mean? He was wide open so many times in that game. It's not even funny, man. I was watching the game with a Chicago Bears fan of mine, like a good friend of mine, and man, he was calling it the whole game, just like, people want to bag on our defense, right? About the mobile quarterback and all that. The only time I believe the mobile quarterback for us is an issue, right, is when it's an option of theirs. But when they have to rely on a mobile quarterback, it's a done deal, man. We were calling it, side by side, me and my buddy there. Every third down, he's going to run the ball because he doesn't have confidence in his team to throw the ball. So although, yeah, his stats were super nice, him being the only key factor of the team with his legs, that's not going to work, man. That's bad coaching on their on their end. I think the Chicago Bears, it's his first year. They need to get that guy up out of there. He's not doing good for them. Then coaches, people want to talk about McDaniels. I mean, he's doing great in my eyes. Sure, he's making some mistakes. Maybe he's not calling the flags or the challenging plays, doing this, and that. Not good with the clock management. But the way he's getting Tyreek open in space, and if they got to go and cover Tyreek, it's going to get somebody else open. It's genius, man. He's doing a really good job, in my opinion. But coaches don't win MVPs, right? So, I mean, that's mostly I can't remember, man. I'm trying to get it all out because I feel like I'm gonna get kicked off pretty soon. But I mean, Steven, tell me where I'm wrong, if and where I'm wrong.
I mean, I think what you have to remember is that the Miami Dolphins are on number one. They're on a winning streak, right? They won 3 straight games, right? They've Pittsburgh, Detroit, and now Chicago, and so I don't understand why there's any room for if in the NFL winning games is difficult. Point blank, it doesn't matter.
Absolutely.
If we're winning games, where is the by the way, just so you know, Andrevius is texting me.
No, I see you looking down, and I'm afraid. I think I'm kicked off already.
Texting me, and he's Andrevius. You are killing me, Smalls. I love you more than anything.
So real quick, while you're reading those text messages, another thing popped into my head.
Concentrate, because
where you're saying about the games Tua's missed, right?
Yeah.
How that might affect him in the MVP running. I actually would beg to differ, right? Because if the trend keeps on going where we're winning games with Tua in the game, right? I believe that shows more of how important he's been, right? Because the games where he's not there, we lost. That could be a knock on him, but that could also be like, wow, he really is the most valuable player on this team. So it could be bad, but if it continues the trend, which is when Tua starts and finishes games, we win. He might have a chance, man. The way the NFL works, he might really have a chance. He's number 1 in QBR.
Yes.
Right? That's one of the most important stats, third down stats, red zone efficiency. He's killing it where it matters.
I don't need everybody else texting me either. Now I got random people texting me.
Let me get your number, man. I want to text you too, Steve.
Everybody's like, you better listen to Andrevius.
I mean, I think maybe you should give him a credit, man. Not a $1.
Are you vouching for Andrevius? Are you?
I mean, so I can't remember the stream, but there was one stream where you definitely I forget who it was, but it was Andrevius, and he was mad about it too, where you let the guys ramble on for about 5 extra minutes.
I give Andrevius a timeout credit.
A full. I think he deserves the full.
Yes, a
10-minute timeout credit, and not to save him, but for him to say, Steve, get him out of there, and you should respect that, because I can't pinpoint where.
I just put it in the chat. Should I give Andrevius a timeout credit? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
See what happens. I will see where the votes.
Okay, but that's not fair though, because I know he gets a lot of shade thrown at him, man, and I don't see why him. Also, Sharif is another one.
Real talk. So here's the thing: Andrevius has my personal Cash App, so he's sending money to my personal Cash App, which I used to promote months and months and months ago before I had a Miami Sports Music Cash App. Okay, and so I still get the money from him through my personal, but what's on my Cash app is the VP Miami Sports Music one. Right. So when I get a credit on Cash App, it comes, I won't see it like an email, but I don't have, it's not like I have my email popped up. Right. So the only way I know is if he puts it in the chat. Hey, put it in the chat.
So I'm nobody to tell you how to run your business, Steve, but customer service, man. I think.
No. What customer service? I bring up. I have a great customer service here. Are you?
You do, and I'm not saying you don't. I'm not saying you don't. But I'm saying
you're pushing it with me. You're pushing it, Manny.
I never said that you're bad customer. You're great. You're awesome. I saw you a little while ago defend the insulting of others. You know, you're doing great, Steve. You're doing great.
I wake up every day and do my hardest for the. For
you're absolutely right, and I'm not saying anything about that. But to add on top of that would be, you know, he's definitely he's always one of the guys throwing, you know, kicking people out, bringing them back, you know, and then sometimes
texting me. Roach is texting me. He's texting me. I have like 2 or 3 other people texting me. Yep,
2 or 3 others.
Right.
They texting you?
Here's the deal. This is what it is. If you send money through Cash App or PayPal, just put it in the chat. I send a donation through Cash App or PayPal. How difficult is that? Because then I see it. It pops up. I can see it. Boom. And then I will check and verify and boom. Whatever time that you set me and I will give you a full 10 minutes.
So I got you real quick. So
he wants it.
You're absolutely right.
He wants it as soon as he sends it for me to see it.
If from now on he does not follow what you're saying and he's sending it to your personal, then I don't think he deserves it. But now that the air is cleared, maybe you could just give him that credit. You know, it's an in-store credit. You know what I mean? But it's up to you. It's your business. It's a suggestion.
He said, "Bruh, I was in the chat saying it."
I mean, you're doing a lot, though. It's hard to look in the chat and do. What you're doing is hard, Steve. It's hard, and I feel like you're not getting enough.
Look, Ronzi says it. He says, "I donate via PayPal every time. Put it in the chat, and Steven sees it. So where's the problem? Andrevius should stop crying. Tell him, Franzi."
Hey, I'm trying for you, Andrevius. I am trying. But again, at the end of the day, it's up to you, Steve.
So
whether or not
he's like, "I'm good, man. Do things your way. Don't get
okay."
mad
So you know what, Steve? Do things your way, Steve. That's it. You can't be that kind of guy.
I'm trying to be a fan of the people. I'm trying to cater to my look. Let's get something straight. I do love Andrevius.
Yeah,
he's my guy. Okay.
Yeah.
But I am one man. I wear the tattoo of Superman, but I'm not Superman. I try to be. I hope Franzi got your back like I always have. Good for you. What Andrevius, get up here. You better not be taking things personal. You better not be taking things personal. You started this. Anyway.
Where you at, Steve? I got my own little Superman looking thing.
Anyways. All right, get out of here. I gotta get these final people on.
Hey, fins up, man. We're gonna win undefeated Tua for the rest of the season. Bold prediction. Not even bold. It ain't even bold. It's trending. It's trending. Alabama quarterbacks is
Andrevius
where it's
says,
at.
I will not come on your panel. Not sorry. When I say something, I mean it.
Okay. Well, damn, Andrevius, I'm trying for you, bro, and you're digging yourself deep, bro. Love you, Steve. Keep doing what you're doing, man.
Be good.
Yep.
Yes, I got a picture of your feet, Roach. These texts are getting out of hand. Got Andrevius mad at the world with me. Thinks that I don't do anything. Thinks I'm the worst host ever. He thinks I'm a horrible human being. I see random picture of feet. Robert. Robert,
Can you hear
help.
me?
Yes, I can hear you.
I sound like a robot, don't I?
You do sound like a robot.
Do it still sound again as it
And
works?
you're going in and out. And you're going in and out.
All right. Well, then just drop me next time.
I'll just drop you. Okay. Anyways. I try. I want you to know, Andrevius, it's an emotional roller coaster with you to try to make you happy. Okay? It's an emotional roller coaster. What are you doing that you have all that noise in the background, Eric?
Hi, buddy. I'm near a submarine.
Oh, you're near a submarine. Oh. How can I help you? How can I assist you in your happiness today?
I'm happy. It's Victory Monday. I just called to tell you I love you, buddy.
I love you too, buddy. I love you. Anyways. Okay. This was the end of the show, I think. This is a good way to stop. We got 3 minutes left. 199. There we go. A donation. I appreciate it. Try hard. Crazy how 4 NFL teams can be playoff bound. This will be the most competitive division for the next years to come, and I can't wait. Yeah, it's going to be awesome. I'm excited about it. I'm excited about it. I love you, Andrevius. Andrevius is booing me through text. Boo! I agree. Try hard, 7. Guys, we are at $65 in donations today. $35 more dollars. Come on, donate to the channel. If we had 35 people donate $1, it would get us over the hump for the day. Come on, donate to the channel. Help the channel grow. YouTube's taking half anyway. Come on, help us get us there. Let's go. They're great. Come on. No. Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show. Tomorrow is Hot Take Tuesday, man. Daggone, Steven. It's only been 3 hours. You need to stay on. I usually stay until noon. I need to do 9 to noon. And by the way, so I'm going to end the poll real quick. There we go. Andrevius, 57% of the people said I should give you a credit. You have a credit. Andrevius has a full credit. I did it fair. I didn't make the decision. I gave it to the voice of the people. The people have spoken. Andrevius has 1 credit. He has 1 10-minute timeout credit. He said, I don't even want the credit anymore. Now he's saying he doesn't even want the credit anymore. I can't make Andrevius happy. You know what? Matter of fact, we're. No, there's no booing me. There's no booing me. I try to do everything to make you happy. And you hang up on me? See? See what I have to deal with? Y'all see what I deal with? Tua 6.2 air yards per attempt. Next highest Allen at 5.0. Can we say dink and dunk is over? Yes, Donald Henry, we can. 100% we can. 100%. Andrevius is acting like Steven is Goodell. Don't put me in that frame. I don't make Goodell money. I don't need that. I make Goodell money. I'll be more than happy to be compared to Goodell. Otherwise, don't do that to me. That man made like $36 million last year. Something stupid. Just straight stupid. Oh, you know what? I got something. There we go. T. Christopher Carter, you gave me an idea. Hopefully he'll at least pick up.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system. 9. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hello, we are trying to reach Andrevius. This is Steven here at Clock Blockers Customer Service. We hear that you wanted to make a complaint on the host of the Clock Blockers morning show, Steven. So we're just trying to get that on record so we can file a formal complaint. If you have any questions, please feel free to give me a call back. And as always, thank you for choosing Clock Blockers as your #1 morning show. See if he responds to that. Oh, I do love doing the show every day. It is good stuff. It is good stuff. Anyways, hope you all enjoyed the show today. Guys, we're $30 away from goal. $30 away from goal. Who's going to donate the $30? Help the channel grow. Donate it on Cash App or PayPal. Or you can put it on, or you can do it up here. Whatever floats your boat. Too funny. Anyways. What a day. Tomorrow's Hot Take Tuesday. I got Nikki Smokes, Nando Talk up here with me. Tonight, Nando Talk will be live. That's right. Nando Talk will be live at 7 o'clock tonight. So be on the lookout for that. Tomorrow night, Dirty South Fantasy Football Show with Eric the Commissioner and Lorenzo Ice-T. So that'll be a lot of fun. And then Batman on Wednesday. Don't forget about the Spanish-speaking Hellfins on Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. And then Jason Sarney, Thursday night kickoffs at 7. Notice nights at 8. Lunchtime rewind Friday afternoon at 2. And Finn's Take with CB83 Friday nights. Let's go. Steve Kirker said, I just donated $5 on Cash App. Thank you, Steve. I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Thank you for saying that you donated there as well. Let's go. Let's go. Give us some solo D on your way. My thing's not working. Otherwise, I would. I would 100% do it. Having computer issues. I need to get it fixed. Love it. Hit the like button. Let's go. Let's go. $25 away from go, y'all. Let's go. By the way, Steve, I didn't see it up there. It didn't come through yet, but it could be that it just takes a minute to come through. But I appreciate it. So until then, I'll say 30. $30 away from goal. I haven't seen it yet, Steve. Just trying to be accurate. All right, there we go. All right. Did y'all enjoy the show today? Did you enjoy today? Victory Monday. Great show. Love you guys. Y'all the best fans in the world. You know what I will play on the way out, though? I'll play this. And I'll probably get a thing for it. So please donate because I'm going to get a hit. There we go, Steve. I got it. I got it, Steve. I got it, Steve. See, Steve, it took him like 2 minutes for it to come through, but he put it in the chat and I saw it. Now I broke Andrevius's heart. Stephen D., founding father of gag. Get along, gang. What are you talking about? I like the one guy panel so they can finish their takes. I like it too, Franzi. All right, whoever donates the most amount of money today, one big donation, I will give them a big hug when I see them. Who's going to donate the most amount today? I think the most we've had today is $20 donation. Anybody going to beat that $20 donation? Who's this? Thank you, Stephen Ross. Who's this?
Hey, Steven, it's Greg.
What's up, Greg?
Oh, I forgot. I was trolling because I felt like Stephen Ross kind of paid the ref with some of those calls. You know what I mean?
Don't start that narrative out here, Greg. We don't need none of that. No, thank you.
Now you got it. But I just want to come up here and say we're going to the Super Bowl.
We are going to the Super Bowl. I believe that.
Well, yeah, that's all. I'm sure you're kind of getting off. So I just want to come up and say that. So have a good one.
I saw you in the back. I appreciate it, man. Be good, man. All right, here we go. Anyways, 5954. What did you say? Looks like Stephen D. Looks like a kid that just lost his best friend. Well, I don't know. I do love Andrevius, and I do miss him. I miss him already. Andrevius, come back. Come back, Andrevius. I'll do better. Andrevius. All right. Should be a thing, fam. I agree, Chef Shoe. All right. I was hoping we'd hit the donation goal. $25, guys, away from goal. And $20 is the most that somebody donated today. Somebody hit 25 and just take us home. Put me out of my misery. Tomorrow, let's go. All right, here. I know what I'm going to do. Present video file. Downloads. Where is the video? I'm trying to find it. Hold on. I don't know if this is it or not. Nope, that's not it. Wrong one. Wrong one.
That's Steven.
I don't know. I'm trying to find something. Video file. It's an old thing from back in the day. I got all these video files. I can't find the one I was looking for. Let me see. Podcast Network. CLOCKBLOCKERS. Nope. I don't see it, y'all. Here we go. Here we go. This is it. Guys, donate to the channel. Help the channel grow.
Do you remember when we fell in love? I remember, don't worry. Do you remember? I remember how it all began. How could I ever forget? It's the first time.
Donate.
I can feel it. I can feel it. I can feel it coming in the air tonight. I can feel it in hands. I can feel it in each other. I can feel it. It's coming in the air tonight. Oh, no, we fell in love. You remember the time? How could I ever forget? You remember the time? Oh, no, we fell in love. You remember the time? How could I ever forget? Coming in the air tonight. We fell in love. You remember? Coming in the air tonight. The first time we our best time, it turned into nighttime. I think on a fine wine, shining like the skyline. Wish I could rewind time and replay it in my mind. Replay it in my mind. Oh no, they'll never know this love and how it feels. I never thought love at first sight could feel so real. You brought emotions out I couldn't feel. How could I ever forget? It's the first time. Do you remember? I can feel it. Oh, I can feel it. I can feel it coming in the air tonight. I can feel it. I can feel it. I can feel it. It's coming in the air. Coming in the air. Coming in the air tonight. Oh no, we fell in love. You remember the time? How could I ever forget? You remember it? Oh no, we fell in love. You remember the time? How could I ever forget? You remember the time? Oh no, we fell in love. You remember the time? How could I ever forget? Coming in the air tonight.
All right, guys. Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers, right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. I had a great time with y'all tonight, or this morning. I said tonight. This was a lot of fun. Donate to the channel, help the channel grow. Hit the like button. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Hot Take Tuesday, right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.